Yo, this be the one I'm called N9ne, man. You got to check me out on the Bootleg podcast, man. We just talked for a long time.
Hey, before we start the episode, I want to remind everybody, man, we got one of the biggest radio shows in the country, syndicated in almost 100 cities, all over. Shout out to iHeartRadio. All right. Some of the latest cities that we've been able to add, man. Want to give a shout out to 93.9 The Beat in Honolulu. That's right. Hawaii. We over there going crazy. I also want to give a shout out Hot 98.3 in Tucson. Shout out to Tucson going crazy. Also want to give a shout out to Wild 94.1 in Tampa. Going crazy. We just got Richmond. We also just got the good folks in Bakersfield at Hot 104.7. So we're going crazy on the radio with my partner James Andre Jefferson Jr. for the Bootleg Kev Show. So make sure you tune in and you can listen anywhere on that iHeartRadio app. That's right. Let's get into the interview. Bootleg Kev podcast, man. One of the greatest rappers of all time.
Hey.
The greatest performer in hip-hop history.
Hey.
N9ne.
N9ne, what's up, y'all?
What's up, brother?
Oh, man, it's good to be here, man. You know
Of course,
I can't
man.
believe I'm here.
I'm
flew
happy.
15 hours from Australia.
You were in Australia?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was only at home with my family for like 6 hours, man. Then I had to get on a plane to come out here to shoot this video.
I don't think people understand, because I had to go to Thailand for Rolling Loud last year. That time difference is the worst.
Australia is like a day ahead, too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when I was going on stage, when I was getting off stage, it was 7 a.m. for, when my wife wakes up with the kid, So I would call her like 11 o'clock at night. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning in KC.
Right.
Man, it's horrible. It's horrible.
Congrats on the baby, by the way.
Thank you, man. New life, man. New life.
You know what I love about your transparency through your music over the years is you've always been extremely open about
book, yes.
Because with everything there's a sacrifice, and your older kids had to really like wear the brunt of like you building this career we see.
Yes.
You being on the road,
yes, sir, and
all of that.
Yes,
The Rain is one of my favorite records.
Yes, sir. Now they're like 30 years old now,
Right. So for you to have a baby like now, like it's almost like you're in a different space.
Yes, sir.
You're obviously a different person.
Yeah, man.
We all should be evolving.
Yeah. Well, in my mid-40s, I got it on my last album. It's a song called "I Met a Morph." And what I realized is that morph that I met in my mid-40s is kind of late.
Right.
Is maturity. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. My maturity started, really making me pay attention. And I wanted to start doing something different. I don't want to continue to share my energies, my bright energy and my carnal energy with multiple women anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I've done it my whole life.
Yeah.
And then do nothing but bring me strife, you know what I'm saying, or bring other people hurt.
Short-term gratification.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying?
Usually when you get the short-term gratification, it's at an expense of something else.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? And I used to call it therapy. I need to have my therapy, you know what I mean? And that's just an ego thing. And in my mid-40s, I wanted to dial that back, and I met my lady who is my wife now right when it was happening, and she helped me. She helped the transition. You know what I mean? She helped me transition with the drinking. I'm 4 years sober now. She did it with me when my doctor told me if I keep drinking like I do, Mr. Carabulu, your heart's gonna explode and you're gonna die. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, I quit. So she said, I'll quit with you. Because she knows, like, as a team, if one of us
if one of you guys is doing it, it's going to be it's almost impossible, right?
Yeah. So she helped me with that. She helped me with a lot of things in my life that I didn't know was out of whack. You know what I mean? And we're evolving every day, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Every second. And that's what Kanye said. I always find something wrong. That's a part of evolving.
It's part of life.
You know what I'm saying? And I figured And we've been together, this is going on 11 years now, you know what I'm saying? So we got married in our 10th year, you know what I mean, last July.
Wow, yeah. I've met
You know
your
what
wife
I'm
a
saying?
couple of times. So,
Yeah, man, you have, you know what I mean? So we actually lived with each other for a while.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel like people should do it. A lot of people, they say, wise men say only fools jump in, you know what I'm saying? But I can't help fall in love with you. That a lot of people just jump into it and get married immediately before they learn different chemical levels about each other and, you know, things that happen.
Yeah, when you live with someone, you have to kind of like, you almost have to get to the point of like seeing each other at your lowest.
Yes.
So you can have that, like, understand that person
Yes.
on another level. So when you
Yes.
do get married, it's
Yes.
like, okay, now that we've seen each other at our absolute lowest, or we know what each other's faults are, we know how to deal with each other,
Yeah.
we know how to deal with certain arguments, certain
Exactly.
things.
I think people should take time to do that, and that's what we did. We took 10 years. Now, not saying that she wasn't worthy
Right.
of marriage in the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, you know what I'm saying? Because she was, you know what I mean? But we have to go through ups and downs, and we indeed had ups and downs, you know what I'm saying, financially and everything with the IRS, you know what I'm saying? She had to go through that with me, everything, you know, give away my millions and get the millions back, you know what I'm saying? That was a flex, you know what I mean? But I think people need to go through those type things with each other before they actually get married, because people actually have problems when they jump in. Not everybody, though. I'm not saying, I'm not just generalizing, you know, when I say that I think people should take time, and that's what we did, man. We took time. We took 10 years, and we tied the knot in 10 years. I felt like we had been through everything possible.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm glad we did it. We're best friends. And with that being said, I said, I want to be connected to that woman. So we had Alina.
I love that.
She's
man.
2 now.
Congrats,
you know what I'm saying?
brother.
Yeah, man.
That's big, bro. Yeah, it's so crazy too, because like I said, with your transparency, like for people who, because I feel like a lot of generic hip hop fans, I feel like 2012, I feel like all 6s and 7s was a lot of like people's like general introduction to what you had going on for so many years.
Right.
Because that's like when the Wayne cosign happens and you're doing records with T-Pain and
yeah, he'll go crazy, all that. You know. What I'm saying?
But you know, you have had such a crazy, like Carabulu is a double platinum by now. I know it's platinum.
It should be. I know it's platinum.
But like, you know, you also like you're in your heyday. You're known for being like a crazy motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you've never, you know, obviously Eba is ties into that. Like you've been very
Evil Brain Angel Heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hung my player jersey up like tapestry like 11 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad I did, man. It saved my life, because my brother Maxilla was actually writing a movie about me called Georgie. We've been working on this movie about N9ne. It's called Georgie. You know, the Georgie Porgy Pudding Pie story. Kiss the girls and make them cry. That was me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I told him at the end of it, a lady has to kill me. He said, I'm not writing that. I'm not putting that in the universe. I'm like, that's
damn near the only way that could end, right?
That's what I'm saying. You play the game of hearts, you know, usually the punishment is death. You know what I'm saying? Punishable by death. So I said, you have to kill Georgie by a lady. You know what I'm saying? Lady have to do it. He just stopped. We don't even write it no more. You know what I'm saying? He stopped. He's like, I'm not writing that, man. You got to come up with an alternate ending. You know what I mean? But I felt like that I had to stop that before that came to pass. You know what I'm saying?
Because it could have been an inevitable thing for sure. Even if it wasn't necessarily like actual death, but a form of like something like, damn, like I don't.
Yeah, like herpes or something. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good one.
You know what I'm saying? Because if I happened to get herpes when I was playing in the field, I would not be here now. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Because if I can't have my dick, I can't have no.
So
sorry. Sometimes I just talk. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like you've had one of the most. I mean, we talk about longevity, when we talk about eras of your career. What year is this so far in terms of, let's say, album 1 to now? So
what do you mean?
What year in your career are we in? I know. Like, you know, if we go back to the Sway days and
so for me, for Strange Music it's 25 years.
Okay.
For N9ne it's 40 years, because 1985. You know what I'm saying, is when I started. You know what I mean? This, that, and the other. Not professionally, but like in hip hop, period. You know what I mean? So it's 40 years of my life. And year 40, that's crazy. 25 years for Strange Music. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because even before Strange, it was, what was the was
Midwest Side?
No, I'm thinking was Angelic was on Strange, right?
Yeah, Angelic was Strange. You know what I'm saying? The Calm Before the Storm was Midwest Side, and then with Midwest Side, I got signed with Quincy Jones.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? In '97. You know what I mean? So those records never came out though.
Yeah.
So my first record to come out, major album to come out was Angelic, but Midwest Side was the first label in Kansas City with Diamond and Don Juan that put out The Calm Before the Storm, The Worst 2K, stuff like that, and Celsius.
It's so crazy to think that that's how long it's been, bro. Because I remember first finding your shit. Like my cousin Austin put me onto your shit, and what was the song that they were working the radio off Angelic?
Angelic, It's Alive. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy too, man, because like you've survived so many different like waves of music, like and even just like your own shit. Like I think it was a 2018 or 19 was the first time I'd ever seen you on stage without Krizz Kaliko.
Oh yeah.
And I know this sounds crazy because I'm going all the way back to the Unholy Trinity with you, him, and Cut was crazy times. But the way that you were able to figure out a way to it was the gangster, the king, and the clown,
the king,
right?
The clown, and the G. Yes.
Listen, that tour. Was fucking insane, dog.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Like
that makes me feel good. You know what I'm saying?
It was so good. And like my wife is like not a N9ne fan. She's not a hip hop fan. Like
right.
She just went along, and she's like,
funny.
yo, this is cool. Like,
yeah.
But like
you don't have to know N9ne's music to enjoy the music or the show,
The live show for sure.
Yeah.
But like, man, there's just been so many different eras of like, the live show. I mean, how do you feel like obviously you're 50, you're freshly married, you got a 2-year-old.
50 what? What am I?
Well, you're over 50, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be 54 this year in November.
Well, how long do you plan on doing the touring thing?
They still want to hear N9ne, man. Every I just did 7 shows out there down under, man, and the fans, even in the U.S., man, even in the States, man, they're getting younger.
Because how many years straight have you toured? Every single year for 25?
Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? And even me and the Road Dog Villains, RDVs was touring. You know what I'm saying? Not like Trav them put together tours, but we did tours, in the area. You know what I mean? But I feel like that the fans are not going to let me stop. I mean, do they ask? They don't. They don't ask Mick Jagger that. You know what I'm saying? They don't ask Bono
for sure.
that.
The Rolling Stones are still on the road.
You know what I'm saying? They don't.
But I'm just thinking like
Pearl Jam that. You know what I'm saying?
It's like so much a part of your lifestyle, right? Mm-hmm. To where like you damn near have spent more time on the road than you have maybe in your own home at certain points
in the last couple years, man, we've been doing less.
I've noticed that.
I went on tour with Falling Reverse. It was only like 22 days.
Right. Which is different for you because usually it's like 58.
Yeah. 50, 60, 70. You know what I'm saying? So we've been kind of dialing it back and just doing festivals. I don't remember my last N9ne tour. Maybe,
it's probably 2022.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. You know what I'm saying? But the fans are getting younger. Every show that I do now, I said, I got to know one thing first, though. How many of you, this is your first N9ne show, the whole fucking place go up? It's 3,000 people in there.
Amazing.
The whole place goes up. I'm like, holy shit.
To still be able to do that.
So I come to the realization that they're not going to let me stop. Now, me and Travis talked about last year, we said 5 more years, and when we get to that 5, if we still want to go, we will. So it's 4 now, you know what I'm saying? So we don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. All I'm saying is that the RDV video ran up like crazy already, you know what I'm saying? It's almost at 2 million, you know what I mean? And people still want to hear N9ne, man. They still calling for me. I'm about to go on another tour now And day after tomorrow with Hollywood Undead, we're gonna continue the Hollywood N9ne tour, the places we didn't hit on the first one.
Right.
And now we're gonna go all the way over to Canada and give it to them as well. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be more young people that want to see N9ne, man.
Do you remember? Because when I say you're the greatest hip hop live performer, in my opinion, you're my favorite. I've probably seen you in concert like 50 times at this point.
Yeah.
But I think you're the GOAT on stage. Do you remember when you really felt like you had dialed in that element of what you do? Because I remember the first time I ever saw you in concert was probably in 08. 07 or 08.
Yeah.
It was on the Bone Cottonmouth King shit. Or was it, no, was it Bone, ICP, Cottonmouth Kings?
That was 03. That was 03.
Damn,
that was the Wicked Wonka tour.
Yes. So I saw you then.
Yeah.
And that was super early. But I think the first time I saw you like headlining some shit was probably like 07, 08.
Yeah. After Everybody's 06. So
but so much like there's so much to your live show. It has evolved over the years, over and over. But do you remember kind of like you gained fans just because they saw you and they were like, yo, this is crazy. I gotta go to the music. Like, when did you have that dialed in like all the way, you feel like?
Me, Cut, Grant, and Krizz, and Travis, we would rent out a ballet conservatory or something, and we would go over steps for Angelic, you know what I'm saying, before we went on tour. I knew back then, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That we was locked in and we was doing stuff that people wasn't doing on stage. I knew back then that us as a team in uniform, not just in plain clothes, signifies togetherness. So that's saying like, okay, if he's dressed like him, that means if I fuck with him, I gotta fuck with him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I learned that from soldiers, you know what I'm saying? So I knew back then, early on, that we were locked in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who got this motherfucking house your lot? Einstein. If you got scratch, get the fuck, you know, the little dance we do, you know what I'm saying? I still do it to this day, you know what I mean?
For sure.
So it's like, I knew at the beginning when we were doing it, the steps that is, that we were doing something that we had never seen. Because I started dancing before hip hop, you know what I'm saying? I was like MC Hammer style, you know, I was a b-boy, break dancing, pop locking, you know what I'm saying? All that. So I brought that to N9ne, you know what I mean? And throughout the years, if it's something we didn't rehearse at the Ballet Conservatory, if I started doing a step that was extra, they would join in. Or if Krizz started doing a step that was extra, we'd do it. Or if Cut said, man, I'm going to do the B-walk on this, I'd join in, you know what I'm saying, and do it with them, you know? So we would add stuff throughout the years, you know what I mean? So it's just a magical thing. So now, before, okay, I'm going to talk about this. 2020, COVID hits.
Correct.
Chris Kaliko say, you know, we got a Jelly Roll tour on the horizon, you know what I'm saying? And
that's what Jelly Roll was with Strange.
Yeah.
Distro
You know what
side,
I'm saying? He had signed to our distribution.
Was that around the time you guys did the Red Rocks and there was like the big, I think Krizz came out at Red Rocks?
That was like 2019.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So that was the last hurrah.
Yeah, that was the last hurrah.
Because Krizz was talking about leaving then, and then he came out like boom, and the fans were like, holy shit, he's staying. He said he's gonna. Yeah. He said he's gonna do some more years with us. You know what I'm saying? Because he was thinking about going on and doing his own label, this, that, and other. You know what I'm saying? So he came out of Red Rocks 2019.
Yep.
Boom, 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 boom. It was a big thing, you know. And 2020 came, and then that tour got canceled. The Jelly Roll tour with N9ne, you know. And before we went on it, Chris Kaliko say, yo, Tech, I can't go for this price no more. You know what I'm saying? I got to have more if I'm going to go. And I said, let me see what I can do. So I said, you know, I called into Travis. I'm like, if you can get him 2 more hundred, I think he'll be good. You know what I mean? It'll put him at a, you know, a nice place, you know. And Travis like, Tech, because the tour got canceled and now we were trying to go on tour after that, we're getting reductions. You know what I'm saying? Because people don't know. The price
is going down because they don't know what's going to happen.
They don't know if people are going to come.
Yeah.
So that's what the promoters were using against us. Like, we don't know what y'all going to do. You know what I'm saying? So paying somebody extra money when we're getting reduction would be like
counterproductive.
Counterproductive is shooting ourselves in the foot. So Trav, like at this point, I wouldn't do this, but I would ask Krizz if we can reduce his pay. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to do that.
Right.
I know he's not going to do that. You know what I mean? So I had to call Krizz and say that to him. He's like, I can't go there, Tech. And I'm like, damn. I'm like, okay. I was like, maybe this last one. You know, I'm trying to keep him held on. Maybe just this last one. You know what I'm saying? He's like, no, man, I gotta, during COVID, you have to find ways to take care of your family. And he found ways, you know what I mean? And they let him see that he could do his own. So when he came to me and said, I want to leave, but I want to let the fans know that we're still connected. It ain't bad blood or nothing, because it's not. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So we created this live stream. We were doing live streams during.
Yeah, you guys were doing like the concert shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't tour.
Yeah.
So we were doing live streams. We gonna always survive strange music. We're gonna find a way. You know what I mean? So Krizz said, let's do a farewell one for me. You know what I'm saying? And introduce my new label, Earhouse.
Yeah.
And we did that. You know what I mean? So I'm happy doing this for Krizz. But on the inside, I ain't never said this. On the inside, I'm like, damn, I need my brother, man.
Right.
Up there, man.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you guys are...
Because I had to think back to where when I started, I was by myself, but not really. When I got with Travis, I brought Grant and Cut, and Krizz came in last. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. I mean, your guys' dynamic on stage
I got some water in this motherfucker?
Yeah, we grab a bottle.
Yeah.
No, but your guys' dynamic on stage it's historical.
Yeah, so with me remembering that I came in with 4 motherfuckers.
Right.
Thank you. I was kind of leery about what I would do by myself. I ain't never said that because I'm a king. I can do whatever.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So in my heart, I'm like, man, what am I gonna do without my backup? But once I start rehearsing by myself, I'm like, damn, I got all this wind myself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I've always done breathing exercises throughout my career that will allow me to say a whole 4 bars without breathing. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? For a whole 4 bars. So I had to remember that. And when I did my first show by myself and I rocked it, that gave me the confidence because I was worried.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, nobody did. It's like, it's not the same without Krizz. No, it's not the same, but it's fucking
the way you guys
crazy.
had those LED walls and shit, and the way that like the whole, like you doing the outfit changes, it also probably gave you time to breathe a little, reset.
It did. Krizz being there, Krizz and Cut, them being there gave me a lot of breathing time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have that no more. So now I say I'm getting my DMX on, you know what I'm saying? May God rest his soul.
Yeah.
I'm getting my Kendrick on, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting my Jay-Z on, you know what I'm saying? So I realized after the first couple of shows that I got this shit, you know what I'm saying? And, I would love for Krizz to return, but I got it, you know?
Yeah, I think before it's all said and done, man, the unholy trinity has got to get back together for one more fucking hurrah, dog. Even if it's one show, even if it's like a single show in KC or something, like.
I will never say never, but I'm saying maybe you'll get the duo.
Yeah, you and Krizz is definitely on the table.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe you'll get the duo. Trav and Cuddy ain't gonna never see eye to eye.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying? Some things were said that I can't even fix.
Right.
Because, me and some of the people at Strange, when we were doing Cosm, we was...
For sure.
We had talks with Travis about Cuddy.
Yeah.
And he was like, man... He's like, so you think the fans want to hear Cuddy? And everybody in the office was like, yes. You know what I'm saying? And Travis was like, I ain't got no problem, man. I just don't feel complete, you know what I'm saying, with that part, you know what I'm saying, the misunderstanding they had, you know what I'm saying, and I gotta feel that.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying, and as men, I gotta feel, I can't, that it wasn't petty for Trav or nothing like that. I don't think it was petty. I just think that it never got resolved.
That's fair.
It was something that brought Trav's wife into it, you know what I'm saying, and
Yeah, I feel like once you cross certain, yeah.
Like I've never seen when Kanye said this about Jay-Z's kids or whatever, but after you cross that,
It's
like
hard
that,
to walk back that. Mm-hmm. You can like I'm fair game, shit.
Yeah, when you talk about somebody's
when you
family,
bring in the
you
family,
know what I'm saying? It's like, ooh.
It's just hard to bring.
I don't know if you'll ever be able to come back to that. You know what I mean?
No, I think
and luckily,
it's a good example.
Nobody else on the label have done anything like that. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And I don't, I remember talking to Cuddy about it, and he's like, I wasn't talking about him, you know what I'm saying? But, if you say on a song, that's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker, like Pac, you can't say that in the circle you're in, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
When you're breaking up, you know what I'm saying, with the group, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's like, you can't.
Yeah, it's like, I know like, our good friend.
Just bad taste, bad timing,
I know that we have a mutual friend who's a psycho, our boy Ritz. I know like he had his...
It wasn't that bad, though.
But it wasn't anything you couldn't come back from.
No, because he's on Cosm.
Right. And
You know
and
what
like
I'm saying?
because I like again, it wasn't ever anything like, and then he could always be like, I was drunk, man.
Yeah.
And if you've been on tour with Rich, you're like, this motherfucker's a psycho, right? Like,
well, when people lose something, I'm not generalizing, but some people, what I've learned over the years, they deflect, and it's always the label's fault.
instead of looking in the mirror.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what some people do.
Yeah.
I don't remember none of this shit. You know what I mean? And Trav, like, how don't you remember this shit that people done to us? I'm like, I don't know, but I know that the music is first and foremost. You know what I mean? And we did Cosm, and everybody came back. Almost everybody. Chris Kaliko almost made it, but we're trying to get some. We're trying to get some back business done before we go forward. You know
Who all's on the new album?
Me. Because this album, 5816 Forest, is coming out this summer. When Black Walt first came to me, he's like, man, you need to do an album.
Is that your barcode number?
What? No.
Okay, because I know you have your barcode number that everybody would get tattooed and
that's
shit.
66
Okay,
That's Nut House, you know what I'm saying? But that's something else, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
There's levels to this shit.
Yeah.
When Black Walt first came to me, he said, man, people want to hear you do you without no collaborations. I said, that's boring as fuck. My whole career, I'm always collab, you know what I'm saying?
You got N9ne collab as its own artist page.
I do. But,
Spotify.
even on my albums, I got major collabs.
Oh,
you know
of course.
You know what I'm saying? So he telling me that people want to hear you. And I'm like, that's boring. I went to Trav. I said, listen, Black Walt, he just got out. He's been locked up for 15 years. He's the guy that gave me my N9ne name in '88, And I said, Black Walt said that people want to hear me on the verses. That's it. And I said, I think that's boring as fuck. And Trav said, he's right, Tech.
Yeah, because you've never given one of those.
So my idea was to do an album called 5816 Forest, where I moved there when I was 12 to 17. So as I got into the writing of it, me writing all the verses, maybe have, few hooks done by some major artists or something. That's about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I got into a couple of the songs, and I'm like, this is beautiful. So it turns out to be an audio series with 17 episodes of my life on 5816 Forest from age 12 to age 17 when I ran away from home to become N9ne, you know what I'm saying, on the quest to become N9ne. You know what I mean? So it's in chronological order. Only one producer from Kansas City. His name is Jay Peasy.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I've never done that. One producer.
Right.
He did all 17 tracks. You know what I mean? And this is the album where I don't have any features. You know what I mean?
It's a true concept album.
And a lot of fans been asking for that for a long time. Trav always been in my ear about it, but this is the moment when it made sense to me, because how can I have anybody on these verses when I'm telling my story?
Yeah, and like if you really think about some of your, I mean, maybe not like radio songs, but like your biggest songs for real, like that the fans love, they're mostly all you by yourself. If you think about like the technicians and shit,
Kerbulu, you know what I'm
Einstein,
saying? You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah.
Eba's you alone.
You know what I'm saying?
My
even
favorite shit on KOD is You by Yourself.
Yeah,
like
that's crazy.
Like yeah, is probably my favorite tech song ever.
Crazy.
That's You by Yourself.
That's crazy. I never thought of it like that.
Mental Giant.
Mental Giant. Holy shit! Now that one.
That shit is hard.
That shit is hard. We was tripping on that in Australia because we would sound check my sound guys. They would sound check with that song. You know what I mean for me, and I'll be in there and 7. I don't know what possessed him that night to do that song,
so cold,
but holy shit, man! You know what I'm saying? It's hip hop at its finest, man.
For sure.
But all those songs being by myself, like you said, this is the album where I tell my story. With only a few major collaborations on the hooks.
So there's some hook stuff. Yeah.
There's some hook stuff. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know, here and there, but that's about it. But it's special, man. It's special. An audio series with 17 episodes about my life.
I don't think anybody's really done that.
I've never heard it.
Yeah.
But the last song on the album, you know how Strange Music albums end? Strange Music.
Strange
you know what I'm saying? There's a song after the
that.
Strange Music called J6s about my lucky J6s in '91, how I could afford to get some Jordans, and I was Jordan 6 black infrared colorways. You know what I'm saying? That song is after the tag, and it's a humongous one too, because it happens. What happened was, after I ran away, 2 years after that, J6s occurred. You know what I'm saying? And so after the tag, there's a song that happened. That's some shit that happened 2 years after I ran away. And I put J6s. I put it there like that in case I wanted to keep going.
Right. Just in case.
I don't know if I'm going to keep going, you know what I'm saying, with the story, but in case.
I mean, because you could always do it. I mean, if you get inspired to do so, you could always do another album that's a continuation of, of this
from
concept.
Me, from becoming N9ne. I could do it, but I don't want to bore people. But this one is special. RDV just coming out, you know, a few days ago, like last week.
Videos
you know, let everybody know that, okay, this is going to be some N9ne 90s kind of feel beats and everything. You know what I'm saying? It's going all the way back to the beginning. JPZ did a stand-up job with making the beats current, but still with that feel of Rogue Dogs and Mitch Bade and all that kind of shit, Claudia Stroll feel that Don Juan did early on. You know what I mean?
Hey, real quick, want to give a shout out to our newest sponsor, man. Salute to the family at Slap Woods. That's right. We love Slap Woods because they slap, man. The only leaf, the only wrap that we smoke, all right? So check this out. I want to do a giveaway. If you're watching this is what we're going to do. If you go buy yourself a Slap Wood from the smoke shop, the corner store, wherever, you tag me in it, tag Slap Woods, and tag the Bootleg Head Podcast. That's 3 accounts you got to tag on your story or on your post. I'm going to be looking out for it. I'm going to pick 3 people to send a box of Slap Woods. We're also going to send y'all a Bootleg Kev 500 episode t-shirt and some Bootleg Kev odd socks. All right. So make sure you go follow Slap Woods. Go show them some love. And we like to say much love, man. Hey, look, we rocking with them Slap Woods, baby. You already know. It's the Bootleg Kev Podcast. Let's get back to it. What you've had the pleasure to change a lot of artists' lives that aren't necessarily Strange Music affiliated. You've I think about some of the tours that I've been to.
MGK.
Yeah, I mean
Kendrick Lamar, J Rock.
Yeah, J Rock, K Dot, Glass Malone was. I think G Malone was on that tour.
Yep. Dax.
Yeah, shout out to Dax. Freddie Gibbs was on tour with you.
Freddie Gibbs. Look how well he's doing, man.
Yeah, for sure. But it's been so dope. But I want to know because, you know, Fragile was such a moment that had been, I would say, that relationship, because a lot of people who don't know, like J Rock had to deal with Strange. Yes. You guys put out his was that his first full-length album? It was his first album.
I think so.
Because he had to deal with Warner where he put his... Right, but that was like his first solo album.
Yeah, I think so.
That came out.
Follow Me Home.
Follow Me Home, yeah. Uh-huh. And that was a partnership you guys had with TDE. Yes, obviously, yes, Kendrick's on the road with J Rock.
Yes. Kendrick was on the road with J Rock. I almost said Ray J, dude. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick was on the road with J Rock. because the guy that was out there before, J-Rock's kinfolk, MJ, he got killed in Reno. You know what I mean? On that tour.
Damn.
You know, we were performing at one of the venues out there, and it was way after the venue, like 3:00 in the morning. We were sitting in the alleyway waiting for the bus drivers to wake up so we can, you know.
Bus call.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's back when I was still partying
Right.
and shit. I'm up partying with bitches, everything, you know what I'm saying? And we heard shots 3:00 in the morning. And MJ, he, you know, I guess he was on the phone with his wife because the bus is going crazy. He wants to go call his wife, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let me walk away, call my wife, make sure she knows I ain't doing no bullshit.
So I guess they said it was some like Cambodian Crips across the street at the liquor store early on, just looking over there, you know what I'm saying? And everybody knows, you know, where we come from, blood neighborhoods and all this kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? So I guess MJ had on a red J-Rock shirt. MJ is actually the Crip, you know what I'm saying? He had on a red J-Rock shirt because that's he's on tour with. He's on the phone with his wife, and then 3 of them walked up and they said that they said, y'all ready? And then tried to square up with him. Calhoun come out the bus like, what y'all trying to jump my nigga? You know what I'm saying? That's when the guys pulled out and shot MJ all in his lower part. He was still alive, you know what I'm saying? I talked to him on the phone a couple of days later at the hospital. We had to leave him there in Reno at the hospital, you know, and go on to Salt Lake City. By the time we got to Salt Lake City, we got the call that the blood clots killed him, you know. So that's when they had to call on Kendrick to come and fill in for MJ. It was hard, man. It was hard. And that's how I met Kendrick. And that's when he gave me the Section 80 CD. And that's when I put him on all 6s and 7s. Nobody knew who he was on I Love Music with me and my family, Marcus Yates. And then we did the one you talking about, Fragile, after that, when Good Kid, Mad City just came out.
Yeah, which went platinum.
Yeah, it went platinum.
That was Fragile before Hood Go Crazy? Or was it the same album?
Fragile was after Hood Go Crazy.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Was it something about, because I feel like Kendrick was like the kind of artist, because around that time I had him on my show. I think when I was in Vegas in like 2010, he came and freestyled on the show, and this was right before Section 80 dropped. But like if you were around him, you kind of knew like this dude's an alien for real.
Yes, he is. He was a quiet dude, still to this day. But you can tell that, you know, J-Rock would play me Black Hippie shit on the bus. He was, you know, and I'm like, who is that? That's K-Dot. This was when MJ was on the tour. That's K-Dot. He's crazy. You know, I'm like, K-Dot, crazy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then I finally met him, and, you know, on that tour, we found out that he was a special. You know what I mean? He watched me every night on stage when I was performing. When you see his show now, man, you know, nothing resembles N9ne. He got his own energy, his own ideas, man. It is massive. I watched that show in Paris on Hulu or whatever, you know, and I was just in awe, man. You know what I'm saying? What he's become on stage. And I've been to multiple tours over the years that come to Kansas City, brings me on stage and tells the story of us and all that, man. And what he's turned into, man, is a monster live, man. You know what I'm saying? You guys saying that I'm the best show, man. That nigga is hard to beat. You seen him on fucking Super Bowl?
Super Bowl's crazy.
I was there.
Piece of art.
I was there, homie.
I bet you were. It was a sad day for you.
I was there, homie.
I know. It was. I'm sure halftime was fun.
I was there. I seen it, homie.
At least he gave you a good show to take your mind off of the score.
I know. I'm gonna tell you like this: before he came on stage, the Eagles was.
They was already clapping y'all.
They were scoring so much. After a while, I just started laughing. Like Travis was heated. He was just sitting there like this next to me. It was Travis right here, me right here, my Uncle Ike right there, my son next to him. You know what I'm saying? And you know other people that was with us. Travis was like, he wasn't laughing at all. I'm like, I'm eating my food, just laughing like this is horrible.
Y'all got enough rings.
It's never enough rings.
No, for sure.
Especially what it does for the city.
No, for sure.
You know what I mean?
The parade
the morale and all that kind of thing. You know, the parade.
And you have the official record.
The parade we wasn't gonna have no more because the last parade they start shooting.
But
know what I'm saying?
I feel like it's good too for. I mean, you have the anthem, so if they win, it's good for business.
It is.
Yeah.
Red Kingdom. I wrote that shit in 2019. I put it out in 2019. King ISO did the beat. Mm-hmm. We lost a year, but it's still here after all these years.
For sure.
I took it off the set list though. You know, they let me know it, and when we lost the Super Bowl, I took it off the set list. I can't brag no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the fans in Australia let me know, like, we want to hear Red Kingdom, so I had to do it a cappella.
Yeah, just to give them a little taste.
They got Red Kingdom up on the signs and shit. I'm like, it's just a song that people love.
Who was the one artist who you brought on the road that gave you a run for your money live? Where you were just like, oh, okay, you showed up. Like,
shit. I always been what it is, you know what I'm saying?
No, but I'm saying like someone who you brought on the road who opened for you, where you were just like, yo, they're
No, I didn't have I ain't never had my Jay-Z DMX moment.
Okay,
never.
Because I remember when DMX opened for Hove on the Hard Knock Live tour. Shit. I was like, I don't know how Jay-Z's following that shit.
They ain't taking nothing away from Ritz. They ain't taking nothing away from
MGK,
J-Rock or MGK or nothing. But no, nigga, ain't nobody ever made me feel like, holy shit, I got to bring my A game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I went on before Ronnie Radke and Falling in Reverse on this last tour. You know what I mean? And I saw all the shit that they do on stage. I was like, God damn.
Right.
I got to step my shit up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Shit like that recently. But nah, man. I ain't never had that Jay-Z DMX moment like, ooh, these niggas out here killing it.
Right.
I encourage even the openers, man, tear that shit down, make it hard for me. I always tell my artists, make it hard for me.
What I think is like a real like sign that you are amazing at what you do is because I've seen you do festivals where it's not a crowd full of technicians.
Yeah.
And just cultivate the whole crowd.
Yes.
And that's the hardest thing to do because it's easy. I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's one thing to perform in front of your people.
Yeah.
It's another thing to be like, okay, this is a radio show.
Yeah, it's a radio show. I've done those and killed them.
And
you know what I'm saying?
It's just different though.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's like I'm the one backstage hearing the crowd going, ISO.
Right.
I love that.
Right.
I love that for people to have that. But it doesn't make me feel like, okay, I got to fucking kill shit.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Because I already know I kill shit. You know what I mean? My spot is forever reserved, like Eminem said.
E40 was great, too, when you guys had that 40 tour.
Of course,
that was great.
Of course.
Talk to me about, there's the moment when you get shouted out by Lil Wayne, when he's incarcerated. Around that time, there was this light that was flashed on what you guys are doing in KC.
Yes.
I remember there was
list and all that.
Yeah, there was the Forbes list. I remember it might have been XXL. Someone on YouTube went and showed the operation.
Yes.
And all of a sudden it was like, well, shit, you know, people are paying a lot more attention to what we got going on. Tell me how the Lil Wayne relationship kind of like helped kind of change the trajectory of like opening you up to new fans and how it's still intact to this day.
Wayne speaking my name, saying that he wanted to work with me and Andre 3000, man.
Because you're on the Carter 4.
Yeah, I'm on the Carter 4.
Yeah.
He said he was going to make that happen. I didn't know he was going to put us both on the same song.
Which is, the interludes are my favorite part of that whole
That's
album.
crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
And the way I heard it,
right.
He said, you want to hear your song? And he came to Kansas City. I'm like, yeah. He played it in Travis's office. And when Andre came on after me, I was trying to be cool. But the inside of me is like, holy fucking shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I got a song with Andre.
Yeah,
you know
for sure.
I was blown away. I was like, holy shit. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know he was going to do that. So after that, I noticed that at the Gathering of the Juggalos, whenever I'd say it, they'd boo. You know what I'm saying? They boo when I say Lil Wayne. I'm like, hold up. That's my family.
Like, we ain't going to do that. Yeah.
This is for the love of hip-hop. Respect that when I'm here. And they would clap, you know what I'm saying? Like, they respected that, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of my fans didn't want the mainstream over here.
They wanted you to stay your little, like, their little secret.
And that's how fans do. They
yes, like, all fans are like that.
They want the best kept secret.
Right.
But something like Tech N9ne, you can't keep contained, man. You know what I'm saying? So I said a long time ago, Tech won't go mainstream, the mainstream will go Tech. And that's what gradually happened. You know what I mean? Wayne was that first thing that happened when he said out of the blue, when I forgot who asked him. I forgot if it was Funkmaster Flex or I forgot who it was.
Yeah.
I asked him when I was in jail, who you want to work with? I want to work with my main man Tech N9ne and Andre 3000. Everybody's calling me. I had to fight Strangeland, meaning the fans,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Because they wanted to keep that shit over there. You know what I'm saying? Lollipop was out at the time.
Right.
I mean, I don't want to hear that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I fuck with elite artists, and I adore elite artistry. So Wayne saying that, I went to Rikers and said thank you. Me and Trav, went out to the East Coast and said thank you, And he said, when I get out, it's on. And it was. As soon as he got out, he said, come on down here, Florida. We got a song. And they played it for me. Mike Banger was the engineer. He played it. Dun, 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 dun. So I'm like, oh, my God. Get on there and chop that shit up. Wayne came in at 12 midnight, heard it the next day, and said, yeah, now I'm ready. That's what I wanted. I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And the hood responded. Tech killed it.
Yeah.
Tech killed it. I was surprised to see Tech on the Carter 4. It did it. It did so well with me for the culture.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you think about strange music, you kind of think subculture, right?
It's 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So for the culture, that was a win for me.
Yeah, it was funny to watch it because it was like all of a sudden, because you would always kind of hear people talking about Tech N9ne and they would, because you had the face paint. And you dealt with this your whole career, right?
Yeah, the red hair.
And I feel like the Wayne, because it always takes somebody, when you are doing something underground or doing something out of the norm, out of the box, for pop culture to kind of embrace it, you kind of need like a Wayne to be like, nah, this is it.
Yeah, man.
And then I feel like you had gone through me and you had a conversation. It might have been backstage in Orlando. It might have been the Freddie Gibbs tour. And this was around the time Breaking Into Colored Houses had dropped.
Yeah, Bitches dropped, with T-Pain.
But I remember you were a little frustrated with the lack of support from your own community.
Of course. I've been banging that my whole career. The Message to the Black Man, all those songs, man. Why you ain't call me? You know what I'm saying? All that, you know what I'm saying? It's like I've been talking about it because I always felt like Tech N9ne, because I am the king, the clown, and the G, I'm three-dimensional, that it should be for everybody. And that's what started with the gangsters in the hood, you know what I'm saying, in Kansas City. Then the metalheads, then the college kids and all that kind of shit. And then the juggalos, you know what I'm saying? And then, rock and roll, all that, I felt like that it shouldn't exclude my people, you know what I mean? So usually when you do something, and I don't like to generalize, I'm saying that ain't all black folks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sure. Painted face, red spiked hair. At the time, nah, bruh.
Even now, people are like,
but it became cool though.
Well, now, like, there's this like, subgenre of like kind of punk rock.
Yeah.
Like you look at like what Uzi has done.
Yeah,
and,
Lil
guys
Uzi,
like
you know what
that.
I'm saying? Playboy Cardi said Playboy Cardi went on and said that I was the pioneer of what he does image-wise and stuff. You know what I'm
I didn't
saying?
know that.
Yeah, he did, like a year and a half ago.
Shout out to Cardi. I just saw his show and it was a lot.
Yeah. He said, and I think a lot of people don't know. You was just talking about how I've been in it for so long and still on the incline and all this kind of thing, man. I always tell my fans that I'm Alucard. That's Dracula backwards.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I don't look like I'm about to be 54.
Nah, you look better than ever, brother. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
You look like...
Yeah, I'm going to be here.
You look like better than you looked in like 2010.
Yes, sir. I've seen
Because you was
pictures.
wearing all the drugs and all the ecstasy and liquor and everything.
Yeah. And I don't eat nothing but sourdough bread now,
Right.
man. I don't eat wheat bread. I don't eat white bread. I don't eat none of that shit. Because sourdough has health benefits, but that's neither here nor there. But it's like certain things that I changed that my wife implemented.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that people always gonna give the props to Tech-N9ne for what we done early on independently and image-wise that I got crucified for, and I didn't give a fuck. You know, I have the word sacrifice across my chest really big. It's been there for years, you know. And I sacrificed myself for them to run right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think of like Denzel Curry had a album where his face is painted.
Yeah.
NBA YoungBoy had a little wave where he painted his face on social media.
Yes. This is decades later.
Yeah, decades later. And I just remember like you being chastised or boxed. Yeah, for sure.
The Weeknd did it.
For sure. But you were put into this like box because I think around that time, like there was like, you know, it was also kids were a lot more shallow with their taste back then. Like,
I think some of the culture, they think, I said some of the culture, people in the culture, they think that when you do stuff like that, like paint your face or have a bishop's robe on with red spiked hair, that's me saying that I don't have the skill to get people's attention. You know what I'm saying?
So let me dress to get the attention.
Yeah,
so they already kind of write you off.
They write me off.
Yeah.
But them motherfuckers found out that I can do this shit butt naked with none of that shit and fuck all you niggas up lyrically. You know what I'm saying? This is how I feel.
Right.
And that's what people know. You know, they know when they get on a song with me, they really got to go. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that you got to chop every time you know, even though that's all people send me, they want to race me. I'm tired of racing motherfuckers. You know, you don't have to race me on songs. I can do hip hop shit. You know what I'm saying? Me and Conway just did some shit.
For
you
sure.
know what I'm saying? On my last album. You know what I mean?
Yep, shit was hard.
It's like, you know, you don't have to do that, but motherfuckers know now that I didn't need none of that shit.
Right.
I don't need none of that shit. I don't need the mask. I don't need none of that shit to go toe-to-toe lyrically with anybody in the industry. You know?
Yo, talk to me. You had another insane, like, out of nowhere moment when you guys do this record with The Rock.
Okay.
And now The Rock has always been a supporter of your music.
Yes, since Riot Maker.
Yeah, I mean, he always is posting, working out to tech stuff, and
straight out the gate, all those.
Yeah, and so it was so cool. You had to have written that verse though. Did you write the verse?
No,
The Rock's verse.
No.
Because it sounded like your pen.
No, listen.
Okay,
I'm gonna tell you how it went. I said, I got some words that I think will be good. It's about drive. It's about power. It's about da-da-da-da-da. You know, it was going slow like that. And da-da-da-da. He's like, no. I want to go fast. So he said, I want to say it's about drive. It's about power. We stay hungry. We devour. Doing the work. I wouldn't have said what he said. Put in the work. Put in the hours and take what's ours. Yeah. That's all him.
Yeah.
Like in some moment in my veins, my feet going.
I was thinking for sure that was
that's him, dude.
Oh wow! So he put that together.
That's if you read it, that's me. Just like, okay, you should put this right here. That's what they.
Almost like giving him the cadence.
To the masses, I just help him put the cadences together because he already had the words. He did that shit, man. That nigga know what he doing.
And that was you guys were in the studio together for that.
No, he's too busy for that.
I
hit him in his DM. I was like, hey, I think I found it because I met him out here. He wanted to meet me on his set of Ballers when he was out here with my people, Shawnee.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They always trying to get me to do movies, and I feel like I'm too weird to act, and I've done a couple things.
I think you should produce
weird.
them.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I might do that.
You got to get that Rob Zombie shit cracking.
Oh, man.
You got the taste for the horror movies.
My horror brain, if I let that out, they ain't never seen no shit like that. Jordan Peele, all them motherfuckers be like, what the fuck is wrong with this nigga? Yeah. But anyway, I met The Rock then. I said, I'm going to find something. Then when Face Off came, I said, in his DM, I said, hey, I think I found it, man. He sent me his number, sent me his email, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I was like, and then we start talking on the phone, and we start talking our way through it. And he said, this is what I want to say, da-da-da-da-da-da. And I just helped him, you know, put it in the right place. You know what I'm saying? On that last part. You know what I mean? That's all him, dude. He fucking killed it.
No, killed it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And then the video.
I knew he could do it because Moana was out.
Right, and he killed it.
I can put up anything. I get the look at that. I can make everything happen. Look at the top. I'm like, oh yeah, he could do this. He did the Moana shit. He's Maui. Maui can do this.
Yeah.
So I knew he could do it. You know what I'm saying? When I said that's if you want to bring it to the masses, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm going to boost the asses, whatever the fuck he said. I knew he could do it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, can you talk to me? Because obviously, one of the most, when we talk about West Coast GOATs, especially people who are underrated, is a guy, Mac Dre.
Oh, yes.
Who lost his life in KC.
Yes.
You've obviously shouted him out a lot over the years in your music.
Of course.
What was your relationship like with Mac Dre? Did you guys have a relationship when he was alive? I know he was in KC a lot.
This is what my homies say. I was on big drugs. We was running a fucking strip club called Satin Dolls downtown.
Okay.
Van Brunt. You know what I'm saying? They said Mac Dre came in there and I was high and I gave him his first dizzles. I don't fucking know. I'm not gonna claim that.
Right.
The Thiz man.
But somebody says that.
My nigga said, nigga, you gave it to him. Because I remember him coming in the club and I was like, he's like, man, Yuck told me y'all's family. I'm like, he is, and that means you family too. Because he taller than me. I'm like, I remember doing like this, you know what I'm saying? But I don't remember giving him no goddamn thing. I just knew I had 60 on me all the time. You know what I'm saying? I had a hookup. It was the flower girl in there, you know what I'm saying? That she would front me the shit and I'd pay her later, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I had 3 of them, 300 of them, and I'd share them with the girls. I was like the house dad, nigga. I'd go in there and get everybody high, you know what I'm saying? That was back then when I was putting it on my tongue, like take it off my tongue, baby. You know, that kind of shit.
Crazy times.
You know what I'm saying? Crazy times for me. So they said, my homies like, nigga, he came in the club that night and you gave him, it was like, nigga, this is what we do. And he's like, for real? I was like, I don't remember that shit at all.
That's crazy.
I don't remember that shit at all, but I remember meeting him in the club, you know what I'm saying, at Satin Dolls, and, you know, he came in shining, you know.
Yeah.
And the thing that happened to him in KC, the negative thing, I was on tour, and I was doing a Halloween show in Salt Lake City that day when I found out.
Wow.
I called Yuck Mouth immediately. I said, man, did he have kids? He said, yeah, he fucking had kids, man. I'm like, you know, and they said it was some street shit that happened over 20,000 or something that he was getting for a show, and he left. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't there, man.
That's
you know
crazy.
What I'm saying? And I hate it for Kansas City because they love Mac Dre. You would think he was from there, man.
Right.
When any of his
stuff comes
Go
on
Stupid comes on or anything, you know what I'm saying? It's not my job. They play everything.
Right.
You know, everybody moves like Dre in the city, you know what I'm saying? And E40. Because E40 with Mr. Flamboyant opened up the floodgates for the Bay to come in to Kansas City.
To the
you know
Midwest,
what I'm saying? To the Midwest, you know what I'm saying? But Mac Dre, man, you know, that's his town as well.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, I don't know, 10 plus years ago, us having like talks about like, you'd worked with everybody. Obviously, the one like person that was still escaping the tech feature was always Eminem. Speed Him comes out, right? Which was crazy because you brought him to like literally brought him to your world.
Yes.
You've worked with Surge, which I know was another one of those ones, right?
Yes.
Is there anybody left is there anything new that you thought like, all right, well, I've conquered all these dragons. I've had M on my shit. I've worked with Andre 3000. You had Serge Tankian opening up an album.
I mean, it started, the eliteness started way back in the day, you know what I'm saying, with me and Ice Cube, me and MC Ren.
Yeah, Ice Cube was on Killer.
Me and Spice One, me and E40 over and over and over. The elite shit, it just started back in the day, you know what I'm saying? And then the new generation came, you know.
But there's got to be some newer guy, because you're a fan of this shit. So I know, like, people don't know, like, you'll like catch a flight to catch a concert. Just to go, like,
yes, I do.
You'll be like, yo, I'm in Arizona right now.
Yes.
I'm here because I want to watch this concert.
Yeah, I saw Travis Scott down there. I saw Chris Brown down there. I saw her. I saw Daniel Caesar down there. Me and my wife, we would come down to Arizona to go to them goddamn shows.
But what is the
what's the
latest artist you're like, man, this would just be special. Like, I really would love to.
I tried to get J. Cole on my last record on a song called "I Met a Morph." I was trying to get him on that one. And we couldn't find a way to get a response. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that was one I wanted to, because, you know, he'd be on motherfucking shit, killing shit. I'm like,
for sure,
come over here
on
and
the
kill
features
shit.
Be crazy.
Come over here and kill shit.
Right.
Let's go. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And we ain't did it yet. You know what I'm saying? I always wanted to do that. I always wanted some, and this is some old shit, but when I say old shit, I mean this is something I've always wanted, you know. Trent Reznor to do a track, you know what I'm saying? 9 Inch Nails.
9 Inch Nails, of course.
You know what I'm saying? I just did that one with Ronnie Radke, Falling in Reverse, the Ronald song, man, and that turned into a tour with us. You know what I mean? And that was a big one for me because, you know, they killing shit. You know,
For
Ronnie,
sure.
I was looking for Ronnie. The way I found Ronnie is when I was doing Bliss, I was looking for metal choppers. I Googled metal choppers, and he was at the top of the list. Then Kim Dracula.
Right.
Then it was like Suicide Boys after that. You know what I'm saying? And then it was City Morgue and all that. But Ronnie was at the top of the list. So I hit him in his DM. I'm a DM type of motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That's how I got Duran Bernard on my shit. Everything.
You got to shoot shots.
Yeah, man.
Why
you know
not?
What I'm saying? But I hit him and he's like, man, I've been wanting to work with you for the longest, man. I sent him the song What? I was going to get him and Kim Dracula on it because Kim Dracula's from Australia. You know what I'm saying? He's fucking crazy chopper. You know what I'm saying? Metal. And Ronnie said, I love the song, man. I just can't do it because I'm working on this huge album, but I want you to be on one. I said, okay, Kim Dracula still did it. You know what I mean? And I was happy about that one. But J. Cole is one. Trent Reznor is one. Brittany from Alabama Shakes, I love what she can do, you know what I'm saying, vocally. You know, I just love musicians, man. You know, I got a song with Gary Clark Jr., you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
It's like, I'm such a decorated MC, man, and that's what my next album is going to be called. It's going to be called Decorated. And
that's hard.
I've done it, and I got a weed song with Boyz II Men, dude, you know what I'm saying, called Buddha. You know, a lot of people don't know. It just went over people's heads on The Storm, you know. And, you know, I think Gary Clark Jr. is on that album as well. Marsha Ambrosius is on that album from Flower Tree.
Yeah, she's fine.
It's all over the spectrum, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like rock, new metal, you know what I'm saying? Slipknot. I'm so decorated that I only have a few people that I have left. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z's one of them as well.
Oh, it would be crazy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Already got Kendrick, already got J-Rock, you know what I'm saying? I still haven't done that feature for JID he sent me, man. It's like
JID would be crazy.
Yeah, man, he sent it to me like around my birthday, like November 7th. And then I went on a run right after that, and I got sick 3 times from Thanksgiving all the way to the New Year, so I haven't been able to do it because I didn't want to get
He's about to turn his album in. If it's not already turned in.
Oh, man, I hope not, man.
He's crazy.
Because I'm just now letting up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I gotta hit him and say, am I late? That was like almost 5 months ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I know
I
know he did like a little private listening for whatever this new project is supposed to be.
I might have missed it.
But maybe not. I mean, there's no date announced.
Yeah,
I mean,
I got
as you
sick.
know, there's always time to get shit over the finish line.
Yeah, I got sick 3 times, man, and I couldn't get in the studio with him like that. You know what I'm saying? Because he wanted to race.
Right.
You know
no, he's one of them ones.
Yeah, he's wanted to race. I was like, oh, you want to race? Okay, here we go. You know what I'm saying? I'm back. It was the day before my birthday, and my birthday is November 8th. He sent it November 7th, and still haven't done it, man. I'm like, damn, I gotta get that done for JID.
Talk to me about like your guys' model. I just saw Travis just did an interview with King Court with the Holden Court podcast, where he was kind of breaking down just kind of how things have changed since the streaming era, and how, you know, obviously the lack of physical product in the marketplace. Yes. It's kind of, you know, like you said, strangers always going to find a way. You guys have always found a way to survive and evolve. But just the OG, like, when did you realize, whether it was you or Travis or together, like, yo, we got to have like multiple SKUs on tour? Because I remember, man, when you I remember the first time I went to one of your shows, bro, a solo show, I was absolutely floored by the merch section.
Oh yeah, that's all Travis right there.
And we're talking about jerseys, license plates.
And that's back then when I had to okay everything. Now it's like, I'm like, go ahead.
Well, then the other thing too is you would have the dude who would walk around with the box of CDs.
Yes, sir. We have 3 CD sellers
in the crowd,
hitting the line.
Yeah, like, hey, you guys want to buy the CD?
Yeah.
And
COVID fucked all that up
for sure. And I think back to, like, you know, obviously I would say probably before, in terms of taking advantage of the merch thing, I would say ICP was before you guys.
Yes.
But in terms of perfecting that model of like cultivating your fan base into like a real
core
core that like physically can support you with what you might even have to have the album out. Like, hey guys, we're gonna do merch drop. I remember the jerseys were going crazy. The red KC jersey with the 9 and
But I think surviving for 25 years is a blessing to have the core that we can still sell physical product to. You know what I'm saying? And everything and merchandise. Our store is crazy, man. Year after year. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a blessing we were able to keep all those people with me evolving over the years and people having something to draw from. Like, your best album was Angelic. Your best album was Ever Ready. You know what I'm saying? Special Effects was the last good album. You know what I'm saying?
People say, I love N9ne, bro.
N9ne's crazy.
My God. No CM's my shit.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they have something to draw from because we've been in it for 25 years with Strange Music. You know what I mean? So if they didn't have so much to draw from, they would probably like really respect all the new shit I'm dropping. You know what I'm saying? But people have their favorites because they'll attach nostalgia to it.
Yes, a time of their life.
Yes, when this thing happened and Tech 9 was there, KOD, 09, that's when he really hit that there. You know what I'm saying? After that, he ain't had nothing good since. I'm like, bullshit.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the fact that we've been able to keep all those people's attention for these 25 years, and we can call it the core, is a testament to great and good product. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you don't get on the Forbes list without a lot of stuff that isn't just the music.
Right. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's everything that comes with
it.
It's
the experience. It's the tour.
The merchandise.
It's the merch.
You know what I'm saying? The video game placements, the TV placements, and everything. You know, it counts. And I'm just, you know, that's why lately I've been talking to Trav about direct to consumer,
which I think is honestly the next. It's kind of like things have to be full circle eventually.
I've been talking to him about it since N9ne.
Because think about it. There's I don't know if you've heard of something called Even.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, so there's a lot of artists who are doing that,
yes.
right? Like Dizzy Wright did an album on there. And it was like, at the end of the day, like, if you actually were to calculate, even if you released an album for the first 3 months, direct to consumer.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know?
That's what I'm talking about.
Like,
let's get some money first.
Because you got to look at, I mean, $3,900 is about 1 million streams. So if you do 1 million streams, it's like between like $37,000 and like $4,000 essentially. Mm-hmm. So when you start breaking down like some of the numbers, you're like, damn, like we put so much into this shit.
Right.
And the streaming shit is really fucked. I mean, like it's really fucked up.
It's like
a lot.
you got to get money off of, you know, the music is
you have no. It's a vessel to get
other things.
The other things.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck that, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially for 5816 Forest, a personal album like that. I don't want to get that shit away for free, my nigga.
Also, like, your fans would rather buy a piece of vinyl from you.
Yeah, that's coming too.
Like, hey, look, the first people who are going to hear this album are going to get it on CD and vinyl.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. That's crazy that your mind's thinking that because Travis was on that already.
Like, you guys are going to get this piece of art.
Mm-hmm. Wait till the pre-order drop. You're going to see it.
And then, eventually, you'll be able to put it up on, you know, you can watch the music videos on YouTube.
Yeah, it's easier said than done when you're, you know, connected to, you know, our distribution in Grooves is connected to, you know, it's Virgin now.
Right. And then they're like,
Universal,
well, hey,
you know
it's a little bit harder to be like, well, we're going to just crack our fans real quick and make sure they get first access. But
well, you know,
the business model of Virgin is like, no, that's not how this shit works.
Their percentages are included in that.
Right. Oh, I mean, that's fair. Yeah.
So it's like, sorry, I just snorted.
Yeah.
Their percentages are included in direct to consumer. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it seems like that everybody else would want to make more money. You know what I'm saying?
It would seem too as if there's an artist that is capable of fucking up the game.
Fucking the industry again.
It'd be you.
Yeah. You remember that thing we had in 02? FTI? It was like fuck the industry.
Yeah.
And we did that commercial, like download my album Absolute Power for free. And if you like it, you know what I'm saying, support it.
Right.
We got that shit away for free, my nigga. And it worked. So here we are again. Streaming is killing the industry. We're still afloat by the grace of God. Now's the time to I think it's time to fuck the industry again, man.
Have you been paying
Easier said
attention?
than done, though. I know we got a lot of artists that are connected and.
No, for sure. Have you been paying attention at all to La Russell?
Of course, he's on my last album.
La Russell is like
La Russell and Stunner Man 02.
Shout out to La Russell.
Yeah, man. You know they moving.
He's got this out. He thinks outside the box with everything,
and it's working for him.
Yeah, it's like, hey, if you want to come see me, my show starts at 2 p.m.
Yes, sir.
Because I don't like being outside at night.
Sir. The pergola.
And you get to put a bid in on your ticket.
He's on Cosm. We got a song called Sourdough.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you love sourdough.
But it's why you sourdough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Why you sour at us? You know what I'm saying? Why you sourdough?
Yeah, I think
kick the sneakers on the hook.
He's done a good job of showing artists like, hey, like you don't have to play by the rules that you think you have to play by.
You know what I'm saying? La Russell and Russ. You know
Russ
what I'm
is
saying?
the same
guy. Yeah. Who did it? Glorilla did it. You know, direct to consumer lately. I think GNX was like that with Kendrick.
Hey, you already know, man. We just finished March Madness. Now it's all about the NBA playoffs. NFL football season. If you squint hard enough, you can see it coming down. But nonetheless, my bookie's where you want to get in on all the action, baby. That's right. If y'all know me, man, I love sports gambling. It's something that it is my, I would say, a passion. I've been rocking with my bookie for at least 11 or 12 years as a client. And so it's great that now they are partners with our podcast. This is what's dope about my bookie. No matter where you're at, you go to my bookie right now, mybookie.ag, sign up for a new account using that promo code Bootleg. You're going to get that first deposit bonus up to $1,000. Yes. And right now it's all about the NBA playoffs, MLB baseball, which is, if you know what you're doing with the baseball, there's a lot of money to be made. And we got the futures. I'm going to say you got to just ride the Thunder all the way. Historically, the best net rating in NBA history when it comes to defense and offense together. They are absolutely going to murder everybody and then win against the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals. It's my opinion. We'll see what happens. Nonetheless, get in on all the action. Early cash outs on your parlays. You could do your futures. Who you think is going to win the MVP? You still got a couple of days to get that in. Who do you think is going to win the NBA championship? Who do you think is going to win the World Series? And of course, they got the full service casino. I'm talking about blackjack with Blackjack Dealers Live. You could do roulette. You could do craps. You could do slots. You could do everything. MyBookie.ag. You got to use that promo code Bootleg. That supports the podcast and that gets you hooked up with that first deposit bonus up to $1,000. MyBookie.ag. Also want to give a shout out to Blue Chew. That's right, Blue Chew, man. A lot of people always keep asking me about Blue Chew. Does it work? Look, find out for yourself because you can get a free month supply. You just go to BlueChew.com, pay $5 shipping. They're going to send you, in a discreet package, of course, some Blue Chew. It's got the same active ingredient as Viagra and Cialis, but in a chewable form, sent discreetly to your doorstep. 0 visits to doctors' offices. It's all handled online. If you're dealing with erectile dysfunction, Blue Chew got you. Maybe you need a little extra pep in your step. Blue Chew got you. Damn near adds a half an inch to your for real. I'm kidding. It doesn't. I don't think we're allowed to say that. But it feels like it. Your ain't never been harder. I mean that. You're going to have all-time erections. And your partner, whether that's your wife, your girlfriend, your side, a dude, a trans dude, whoever you're, etceteras, non-etceteras, everyone's going to appreciate how hard your is as long as, they get to experience it, So you'll be thanking me later. They'll be thanking me later. Them will be thanking me later. BlueChew.com right now. You get that delivered right to your doorstep discreetly. Try it for free for a month. Please. I mean, fellas, ladies, etceteras. Get on that Blue Chew. I mean, what are we waiting for? Free. All right. Yeah, pay $5 for shipping and let's make it happen. Let's get back to the interview. Yeah, that just from a hip hop fan perspective, you had to have loved the last year of hip hop. I mean, because the Kendrick Drake beef brought, however you feel about the results, we know who won, but it was just good to see like people dissecting bars, like
really good on that in that aspect. You know what I'm saying? The hip hop, the energy that was brought forth by that beef. What I worry about is the street element of it all. And that's why I put out no popcorn. I didn't have no popcorn emojis because I know we're all gang members.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you can't control the entourage.
You can't control the affiliates.
The family. The fanaticism.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And when Drake's house got shot at, you know, so I'm like, here it comes. That's what I didn't want. You know what I'm saying? I want to keep it in the spirit of hip hop. What it did for it positively, but we have to keep our eye on the street element because it comes with us. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So far so good.
So far so good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was talking to Dave Free the other day with OG Muggs. He had him on three-way. And I said, I think y'all gonna be really good in Toronto, man. You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh yeah, man, they come out in Toronto, man. It's wonderful. I think y'all gonna be good. And I would expect Drake to be okay in LA.
2 stadium shows.
Yeah, I know, 2 stadium shows.
In Toronto.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be good, you know what I'm saying?
And I think Drake is in LA enough to be like, he should be good here.
Yeah, man. He better be, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, with the street element, man,
you just never know.
They take it beyond. We've always took it beyond because this is my theory on it. If you say something negative about N9ne on a record, that means you're now in the spirit of hip hop, I get it. But that means you're trying to take food out of my family's mouth, my nigga. So we're going to have a problem. You know what I'm saying? Now, I've been in battles and I haven't lost. I've never lost. You know what I'm saying? So, and that has never gotten so personal that
you couldn't
we're
come back
shooting at each other or fighting in the club.
Right.
We ain't about to have that shit in KC.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but with that street element, you trying to take food and money away from me by turning people away from me, nigga, I got something for you. Mm-hmm. That's what I don't want.
Yeah, and then there's, like you said, that you can't control somebody who's young, who's affiliated, who wants to prove himself.
Right.
That you might not even necessarily
We didn't
know.
even send it. We didn't even know
this was going to happen. And then there's also insane fans.
Somebody say N9ne's name, I would never send it.
Right.
They send it to themselves because I have followers.
Yeah, you're inviting certain energy to your...
Yeah.
To your
So the thing when it happened with ICP, that's what me and Joe Bruce talked about. I'm like, man.
Yeah, he talked about it a bit on the pod.
We don't wanna turn this into something. We just had we had a really good 2-hour talk when the shit was happening, when I was getting death threats from a few juggalos. We had a 2-hour talk, and it was like a history lesson from N9ne from Kansas City, what started the Killer Clown and all this kind of thing. Because they was under the impression that I got it from them. I'm like, I was the clown in 94, you know what I'm saying?
This is not new,
and I had to tell them all that. And but they did show us a lot of shit on that tour in 03 that we had to up our game and merch and everything. And their stage show was fucking, I just saw them performing the other day and it's still crazy.
For sure.
It's got this energy about them.
I just think about them shooting 2 liters of Faygo into the crowd.
Oh, they still doing that? They still doing that. And it's like, me and Joe Bruce talked about that, about the history and what I learned. And, you know, we got it clear about the gang element. I don't want it to bleed into this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because whether they know it or not, you know what I'm saying, the clowns, the Juggalos are not a gang, but people look at them as a gang.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's all over the world, too.
For sure.
It's in Australia. It's in fucking the UK.
Right.
Juggalos are everywhere, and they come show love, my nigga, and like they always have.
Yeah, if you go to a tech show, you're gonna see Juggalos. This is
of course, and
a lot of people have Strange and Hatchet Man tattoos.
Yes, sir. So we talked about the gang element that I didn't want to bleed over into that, and they came to my show in Detroit and they introduced me and everything, and it was good. You know what I mean? After they did your show, I did a song. What's it called? I forgot what it was called. And I was telling people that I'm not upset at what they were saying on the show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, they didn't say nothing wrong.
Right.
But you know what I mean? It's like the face paint thing was unclear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they didn't know that when I was on that tour, I only had my guy doing words across my head. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But before that, I had Brian Beazle Dennis in 94 doing my full skull face.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't know nothing about Dark Lotus or none of that shit. I'm talking about when I did the show in Lawrence, Kansas with the with the luminous paint on my face and the black cross across my face. You know what I'm saying? Lights cut off, you could see just a cross on my face. I didn't know nothing about Dark Lotus back then. That's what they did, and it's like that was in the early '90s.
Right.
You know what I mean, and shit like that. So we had to talk about all that. You know what I mean, because we had similarities when it comes to face paint and all that kind of shit. And I was trying to say that I've never been a biter. I've always been an innovator. I've always, saw things that y'all did and purposely didn't want to try to mimic it.
Right.
Because that's their thing. I would never get up there and have clowns come out and throw Fago or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm the killer clown, I do mine in a different way. You know what I mean? So I talked about that gang element, and we got that shit straight early, man. You know what I'm saying? And then it didn't keep going.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like trying to split up your guys' fans is an insane because they're a lot of the same people.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's got to be wild too because you've we're talking about 25 years of strange music. At this point in time, like there's people probably with N9ne tattoos that are like fucking teachers, dentists, there's like technicians that are like probably in high places that you wouldn't even know unless they took their shirt off or something. You know what I mean?
Man, they approach me, and people that I don't think is gonna come up to me and say anything about N9ne, like I've been tuned in for 20 years. I'm like, holy shit!
Right.
N9ne always felt like Fight Club. You know what I mean? Like you go into the restaurant and all the people, all the cooks, all the servers, they nod at you. You know what I'm saying? But all the rich people, they don't know what the fuck's going on. You know what I'm saying? Until at the end when I'm taking pictures with everybody, like, who are you again? You know what I'm saying? It's Fight Club thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, talk about obviously, for people who don't know, Save Me was a record that came out under Strange Music's distro. Shout out to our brother Jelly Roll, who is one of the biggest stars on the planet these days. He's had a crazy journey through music.
Totally.
I think back to like him opening up for ICP on tour.
Yeah.
I mean, he really was an actual underground rapper.
Yes,
like
sir.
Really, you want to talk about subculture? Like he came from that kind of like that subculture of like Ritz and Wolf and Haystack,
he was really in the streets in Nashville
for sure.
Yeah.
But what? I mean, obviously, you guys also have a platinum record together at this point.
Yeah, we do. Creature.
Creature is platinum. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How cool has it been, just as somebody who knows Jelly and has obviously broken bread with him, but just
it couldn't happen to a better person.
Yeah.
It couldn't happen to a better person, and he's so thankful. It couldn't happen to a better person. He's always been a stand-up cat. You know what I mean? Him and Travis going back and forth because he didn't want to release Save Me to his fans because he thought that they would be making fun of him because he's singing. I'm like, dude, your singing voice
is different.
Like we did Easier for You, EFU, man. And I'm like, when he sang on it, Easier for You, I'm like, dude, your singing voice is crazy though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then Save Me took over.
It's just one of the most beautiful songs ever.
Yeah, and Eminem just reused it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the fact Eminem sampled a song that was like 5 years old.
Yeah.
So crazy.
That's crazy, man. But it couldn't happen to a better human being, man.
Yeah. It's dope to just see. Like, I'm like, that's why I try to tell people. I'm like, if you knew Jelly, because I would always tell Jelly the same shit. I'd be like, brother, like as soon as people just like get to anybody who knows Jelly, when back then, it would just take people to meet him and they'd be like, yo, I love this guy. Yeah. I might not know him, but I just love this fucking guy. Yeah. And it was almost like the world went through that experience.
He's himself. He don't have to put on a mask or anything. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean like a mask I put on. I'm talking about like a fake persona. You know what I'm saying? Because my mask is what's really going on inside. You know what I'm saying? But he doesn't have to put on a fake persona to be Jelly Roll. He's Jelly Roll everywhere. You know what I mean? And people love that authenticity. And it's gonna be him and until he's ready to say fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier certain fans will like point to some of your older albums. If you, in your estimation, let's take the new album coming out of the equation. What would you say is your best album? I'm sure it changes for you all the time.
They're all my babies, man. I tell them this all the time. They're all my babies, from Angelic to Absolute Power to the Vintage Tech to, saying Ever Ready, to all 6s and 7s to. I got so many, man. It's like I'm on album like 25 or 26 right now.
That's insane.
I think Ever Ready was the turning point. You know what I'm saying? Like we was out here Bias One was giving me beats, and we were all
Rest in peace to Bias.
That's Richie Abbott over there. You know what I'm saying? That I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Out here, I took so many turns. You know what I realized? That y'all gave me a Jay Dilla CD back then that I remember seeing that I never really got into it. And then years later, I realized that I dropped that ball. I'm talking about, we was doing Ever Ready, they was giving me shit.
You had a Dilla beats.
A CD full of them.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, by his one, like, you need to check out this Dilla guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, Carabulu's on Ever Ready, right?
Yes, sir. Carabulu.
Come Gangsta.
Riot Maker. You know what I'm saying? The Rain.
Yeah.
That was the turning point when we got with Fontana.
Right.
That turned into Grooves that we're with now. You know what I'm saying? That was the turning point. Ever Ready. That's a big one. Rick Rock is on there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With my wife, my bitch, my girl, and No Can Do. Rick Rock just came through and just dropped some Bay Area shit on us. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, man. Ever Ready was the turning point for Tech N9ne to get really, really massive.
Yeah, I feel like Ever Ready has, especially if you if you go to one of your shows, it's like there's certain songs I've noticed you'll like move in and out of the set list. Like,
yes.
like Yeah, it was one of my favorite songs, but I haven't heard like you do Like Yeah for some years.
I haven't.
But like that album has got like, they ain't going nowhere in the set list. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Ever Ready. I would say Ever Ready is the turning point. It's not I can't say it's my best album.
What do you think is your best though?
I think they're all the best. My nigga, have you heard Angelic? Angelic, come on, man.
Nah, for sure.
Angelic, Tormented to the song with Roger Troutman at the end, you know what I'm saying? Twisted, you know what I mean? It's like, Angelic you don't skip it. You know what I'm saying? You can't skip it. Absolute Power
Power's crazy.
Industry as Punks to whatever, This Is Me or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Do you remember...
No, that's Ever Ready. This Is Me, I'm sorry.
Do you remember you recording Stamina in the studio?
Let me tell you something. You want to hear this story? So, I've always had Stamina in my mind. You know what I'm saying? I want to rap to a gun.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So me and Don Juan's in his basement, and he sets the MPC 3000 to this swing that's kind of like the way you make me feel, like Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Stamina, I'll be damned if I ever be took away by the demons I never be. With the weather when I bust a rhythm, I come with the heater cleverly. Nigga, when I don't will never be. So killer, Flowzilla, gorilla. If flow was a felony, I'll be in a line, hella doing time for the Tech N9ne. So he said, you got to play it because you know it. I'm like, I did it. So I told Dewan, I got on the mic. I said, okay, now speed it up. Stamina, I'll be done. Stamina, I'll be done. I said, keep going. Stamina, and when he got it to the perfect pitch, I was like, Stamina, I'll be done if I ever be. Took away by the demons I never be. What the weather when I bust a rhythm, I come with the heater. Cleverly, nigga, another one never be. So killer, Flowzilla, gorilla. If flow was a felony, I began to lie, hella doing time for the Tech N9ne. You know what I'm saying? He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I did that shit. The Road Dogs, we had this album, a song out called Let's Get Fucked Up. It's fucking the town up. So Def Jam came to Kansas City at this place called, it wasn't called this name at the time, this club. I forgot what it is. You know, it's just down there on the east side where the essays are. And they had this thing that was like not a talent show, but a industry party where people will be showcasing, you know what I'm saying, a showcasing. And me and the Road Dogs went down there. I remember I just came out here from QD3 and I did a photo shoot and I had that shit on, you know what I'm saying, I had my special boots on, my Kenneth Cole boots on, and all them niggas was dressed in their blood shit, you know what I'm saying? I came out there and I started out and Krizz Kaliko said he was in the crowd. It was Boulevard Nights now, that's the club. I just thought about it. Boulevard Nights, it's called that now, it's called something something else back then. I did that shit. Krizz Kaliko said, man, I was in that crowd, man, when you first did Stamina, and that whole place went up. When I did it first live, when I said Tech N9ne and the whole place stood up, like, I just fell out laughing. You know
Did you always do the head cock?
Yes, yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you have certain songs that when you perform them, you have your, like, I wouldn't necessarily choreography, but you have your moves you do for certain records.
Yeah, I had Don Juan put the cock kind of clack, clack, Stamina. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Tech N9ne. You know, I knew exactly how I was going to do it. I had it in my head.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, I did it at this place called Maniacs in Independence, man, and it fucked everybody up. I think Twister was there or something like that, and fucked everybody up. And I was doing that, Einstein, and Let's Get Fucked Up with and Planet Rock with the Rogue Dogs. You know what I'm saying? And I just knew I had something special with Stamina. So I left it back there in the 90s. Now, recently, I did a song called RDV on my new album, 5816 we just put out.
Video's out.
The video's out. So I thought at the end of the song, when I'm talking about giving a salute to some of the Rogue Dog villains that were not with us anymore and the ones that are still here, I thought I'd give a salute to my soldiers. I thought it was worthy of me dialing back that, dialing up that Stamina style and yelling out all the names. And it's effective still. I did it again. This time, me and Benjineer did it, and we didn't have to use the MPC 3000, You know what I'm saying? It's like Ben let me go in there on a metronome and do that shit. Sippy, Big Czar, Pector Star, Demon Star, William Sanders, Lee, Owen John, Michael Warburg, Tony D, Tony Kennedy, Dr. Bob, Marty Duke, and Fly Mac. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm like, just on those names, put that AK-47 sound, you know what I'm saying, or the SK sound on top of it, you know what I'm saying? It's just as effective as it was in the 90s.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's like one of those moments in your live show that like it doesn't take up a lot of space, but it's so like again, if you don't know Tech N9ne and you go and you do that, you're like, did this motherfucker just rap over a machine gun? What the fuck?
For a long time, I was doing it at the beginning. Now I've been doing it at the end a lot lately, you know, at the end of my show,
right.
You know, boom. But when I did the show with, when I did this tour with Falling in Reverse and Black Veil Brides and all the other guys that were on the tour, Dance Gavin Dance, I felt like this was a new crowd, so I put it at the beginning again.
Right, and just to let them, just to be like, hey, you paying attention?
And then I took it all the way back to 2002 when I was on the ICP tour with the high top boxing shoes, you know what I'm saying, right. And all that kind of shit. I brought that back with the scrubs, and I had Stamina at the beginning, right into Industry as Punks like I used to do.
Yeah, that's
you know
crazy.
What I'm saying? And it fucked them up. And I had my band with me playing that shit.
Yo, you mentioned you're on album number 25, 26, whatever it might be. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. There's been a trend going on in music recently where a lot of people's catalogs are getting bought.
Oh, yeah.
Have you and Trav ever considered listening to those convos?
No, because when it comes time to sell, we want to have something to sell. You know what I'm saying? If we ever sell Strange Music,
right?
You know what I'm saying? We've done a deal with the streaming side,
right?
You know what I'm saying? But other than that, all the publishing, everything, all ours. You know what I'm saying? And other than that, man, we just steady building.
What was the catalyst that implemented? Because I always talk about this on the show with certain artists. I bring up your guys' the tour regimen is pretty wild, but specifically the rules.
Yes.
You guys will fine people if they break the rules. Yes. It's very like it's a professional setting but it wasn't always that way.
No.
What happened? What was the thing that kind of was the turning point where you said, "Hey," or maybe it was a Travis thing, but hey, we're just not fucking around here anymore. There's too much to lose. This is the rules.
With any rule system, the fuck-ups have to happen first.
Yeah.
So, if MGK is having food fights at, you know what I'm saying, the buffet spot.
Oh, yeah, you guys had MGK during his literally,
wild boy
let me
days.
just fuck up a hotel room just because.
I'm a wild boy.
Yeah.
It's real. It was real.
For sure.
Real. I'm talking about Golden Corral. They kicked us out. We were banned from all Golden Corrals around the Midwest.
Crazy.
Because
so was it
food
MGK
fights.
that started the rule book? Or was he the inspiration?
He got a lot in the rule book. The rule book started before him.
Okay, but there's like that you could point to the rules now and be like MGK.
Don't climb
MGK.
the truss. Don't do this. Don't throw food. Don't fucking tear up. Don't fucking paint the motherfucking venue walls. It's all MGK.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But everything that me and Cut did, not Chris Kaliko because he's always been the same.
Right.
Everything that me and Cut did, you know. Like fucking fat bitches and shit, and then they sit on the toilet and break the toilet, and all the water goes everywhere and it floods all the fucking
Don't
whole
shit
floor.
on the bus.
You know what I'm saying? All that shit, and we got to pay for all that shit.
Right.
All that shit.
It all added up, man.
It don't fuck fat bitches in the goddamn rule book. It's just saying be careful what you do in the rooms because you have to pay for everything you mess up. You know what I'm saying? But all the shit that we did over the years, you know, don't have sex in the bathroom on the bus because you're going to break the sink, you know, stuff that happened. You know what I'm saying? So with any rule system, we had to do all that fucking up to get all that in there. You know what I mean?
Because I remember when Dizzy Wright was on tour with you guys, me and him would be talking and he'd be like, I'm just getting fined every day, man, because I got to smoke.
Right.
Because I can't not smoke.
Well, you can smoke. You just can't smoke.
On the bus, right?
On the bus. And
right.
Sometimes on the premises they don't want you to smoke.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know,
because if you break the rules, you get fined.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
You know, it'll start low, and then it'll go up to $500 if you do this. If you transport fans from one
city to another,
is you can't do that. That's like what you call that shit.
No, they'll call that something
trafficking.
Then nowadays it's human trafficking.
Yeah, it's trafficking.
Yeah, like if you fly a girl out for the intent of sex, it's human trafficking. Even if it's weird.
Well, yeah.
There are like some of these things, like obviously Diddy's a piece of shit, but some of the things they're saying Diddy did, I'm like, well, like 98% of every rapper in hip hop has flown a chick out and gave her some money to fuck.
I ain't never paid for no pussy though, you know.
But not necessarily.
I mean,
paying,
not directly. You know,
but like
you're gonna go out to eat.
Yeah, let's go shopping. You know what I'm saying? Let's go get dinner.
Yeah.
Let me pay for the flight.
Yeah, you're indirectly paying for pussy.
For sure.
Yes.
Yo, there's so many of your records because I know you're such a huge fan of horror movies. You are a horror movie buff.
Yes.
What's your goat? What's like your top 3 or 4 horror movies of all time?
I'm the lyrical Michael Myers, man. Everybody know that. You know what I'm saying?
So it's Halloween.
Halloween.
Did you love the Rob Zombie Halloweens?
Of course.
I loved them, yeah.
I own all of them.
I know that they're very like...
I own all of them.
I think they're polarizing for some people.
Yeah, I own all of them.
What do you think about Terrifier?
I love Terrifier. I love Art the Clown. You know what I'm saying? I've seen all of them. I saw the 3-hour one, me and my wife. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the new one was pretty crazy.
Yeah, super crazy.
It's like a Christmas movie.
People were leaving out. You know what I'm saying? People were leaving out. We were on shrooms laughing.
But I feel like some of your records could be horror movies. Psycho Bitch.
Well, that's the thing. I hear a lot of people say that I'm a horrorcore rapper, but they don't know I've never looked at myself as a horrorcore rapper.
I don't think you're that at all.
You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people think that because of my darkness. You know what I'm saying? My darkness is my life. Psycho Bitch is real stories.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But when you get into KOD, that's when the lines get blurred because I got songs on there like Black in the Sun. That's my imagination. And they would put that in the horrorcore bracket, I think.
Right.
But I've never looked at myself as a shock horrorcore MC. I've always been infatuated with the darkness per my Christian mom, Marty Suye's Khalifa. Rest
and if you listen to KOD, it was Show Me a God kicking that off?
Yes. Show Me a God
and
was about my mama being
about
sick.
Your mom.
Yes.
Yeah.
But all that shit is dark, but it's my life. I've always wrote my life. I didn't ever have to say things to really shock anybody. But I've done it in my career to where I talk about nipples and noodles and shit that's in my mind, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a horror fan, you know, but I've never looked at myself in that horror genre like Grave Diggers or when Wu-Tang them did it.
Necro.
Necro, I don't really know if Necro did that. I don't really know.
But but Grave Diggers with Prince Paul and RZA, yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Flatliners and all the motherfuckers.
For sure.
I'd never aspired to be that.
Yeah, I feel like KOD was like if you're in a dark place because of what you're going through with your mom, like you're gonna create a dark album.
So with the face paint and the bishop's robe, they thought horrorcore. You know what I'm saying? And that's what people were labeling.
But I'm just curious, like you're such a visionary. Like at a certain point in time, like I can see you like executive. Like I don't know if it's directing or executive producing horror movies or just getting into like fleshing out some of these ideas you have.
I got with Joseph Bashara He's the composer for, the music for The Conjuring, for Annabelle, for Insidious. He's the Red Devil in Insidious.
Okay, yeah.
Joseph Bashar, we've worked a couple times on music. And with Rob Pryor, I've built with him, on images coming out of my head. He's a comic book artist, what I'm saying? One of the best. I've talked to him about getting stuff out of my head, and he's drawn things or creatures that come out of my head, and we got it in our books and stuff like that. But I haven't done it on a level to where I took time to stop touring with N9ne and writing albums.
Because that's a big commitment.
Yeah, it's a big commitment.
Yeah.
To do movies. You know what I mean? Acting feels weird to me. I've done a few. I've done The Devil's Carnival with Darren Bousman, you know what I'm saying? And I've done one back in the day with Danny Trejo called Vengeance. I've done The Life of Lucky Cucumber with the Jackass dudes, you know what I'm saying? But every time I've done it, people say I do it well, but I feel weird. I feel weird trying to be somebody else. And I feel comfortable doing music though.
Fair. Yeah,
so directing,
it's out of the comfort zone.
No. Directing's good, but acting, no. You know what I'm saying?
I would say, yeah. I mean, I think I just feel like if, you have it in you to do it.
Yes, I do. Yeah. Yes, I do. I just wrote 17 episodes
for the new album.
My audio series, 5816 Forest. So it's going in that direction.
I love it.
Yeah, man.
Did you ever really let a stripper burn you on the arm with a cigarette?
Look at that.
That's okay.
Look at that, man. That's a cigarette 10 times in a row. If you see me do Am I Psycho on stage, I'm holding my mic and I'm pointing at it.
Okay.
Why do I let the stripper burn me on my arm with a cigarette in the same spot about 10 times in a row? When I feel that burn, I palm to the rest, I'm gonna get it wet. Yeah. It's right there. That was in my high days.
What was that night like?
It happened a couple times right there. It happened a couple times.
You're like, yo, you got
but then
just put it out on my arm.
I realized it was damaging my beautiful skin.
Yeah. No shit.
And I'm like, I gotta stop this.
Yeah.
I was on big ecstasy back then, big shrooms, big GHB, Adderall, you know what I'm saying, all at one time. You know what I'm saying? Liquor, everything all at once. I'm still here.
Yeah.
That's crazy, I'm still here.
Thank God you
decided
you weren't on those runs when fentanyl was so prevalent.
Oh, no, I never put nothing on my nose.
I know back then, though, but no, I'm saying ecstasy now is pressed. A lot of ecstasy is pressed with fentanyl.
Yeah, everything, you know what I mean?
It's crazy. You got to be super, super careful these days if you're partying.
Yeah.
You damn near can only eat shrooms and smoke weed.
You see that? That's when I was being a fucking weirdo, and fire against my skin in my mind felt great.
Right.
But my skin would be pink and bleeding, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the night.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? She's smoking, sitting next to me. She's right here. I got my hand between her. I'm like, hit me with it. Every time, you know what I'm saying? And she's like, I remember she's like, you're fucking freaky. I'm like, shut up. Just keep burning me.
Hey, want to give a shout out to Hardeen, man. Listen, if you're in Vegas, the #1 dispensary in the world, the craziest selection of premium cannabis that you'll ever find anywhere. And the best part about Hardeen that I love, man, first of all, if you're going to go over there, mention my name, follow him, Hardeen_Las Vegas. But what I love about Hardeen is you go in there and you're never going to go to another place that's more educated on the weed that they're selling you, right? So maybe you are going in there and you're dealing with anxiety, or maybe you're going in there, you're dealing with inflammation. Maybe you're going in there, you just want to get a little trippy. I don't know. They're going to break down the terpenes for you and tell you which one is best for what you're looking for. It's crazy. Best bud tenders, best place in Vegas, best place in the United States. If you hit Vegas and you hit that taxi at that airport, take me to Hardeen. Follow him, Hardeen_Las Vegas. Check him out, HardeenLasVegas.com. Shout out to the Hardeen family. We want to shout out to our good folks over at Odd Socks, our family. Ooh, Lay's potato chip socks. What else do we got here? The Bob Rosses. Shout out to, that looks like Ritz. We also have some of the. Anyway, if y'all don't know, man, Odd Socks are OG sponsor. They're our day ones. They're our family. They just had a birthday in December, celebrating 11 years. The crazy shit about Odd Socks is I've been with them since they was like getting it out the mud in Tampa, Florida in like 2014. Fast forward, they're one of the biggest sock companies in the world. And we're hooking up all of our viewers with a dope deal with Odd Socks, the most comfortable socks in the world, the craziest licenses. Go to oddsocksofficial.com, use the promo code right now. It's Bootleg, and you'll save 20% off. Of course, the underwear's on deck. Shout out to the undies. We got all the undies. They got the slides now. They got belts. They got all kinds of crazy shit at Odd Socks, man. Oddsocksofficial.com, promo code Bootleg. Save 20% off at checkout. And by the way, if you screenshot me an Odd Socks order that you used with our promo code, throw me a pair of Bootleg Kev socks. Give me a pair. Give me a pair over there. If you can screenshot an Odd Socks order and send it to me, the first 5 people that do that, I'm going to send you on the house a free pair of Bootleg Kev socks. Yeah, why not? Support my people. I support my people. You feel me? Let's get back to the interview. What's next for Strange? Strange Music obviously is a powerhouse. I mean, I know, you guys had kind of switched to like more of a distro model recently.
Yeah. It goes up.
What is next for Strange, man?
Next for Strange is 5816 Forest. Next for Strange is ISO's new album, X-Rated, you know what I'm saying? Hush, Joey Cool, Jerry Robinson, you know what I'm saying? We're not slowing down, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting way more polished with my writing. I'm getting better with my songs, period.
Right.
And we're all elite. When I say we all, I mean all of my artists and myself. I didn't eat no breakfast today, man. My shit is all fucked
Makes
up.
2 of us. I'm off a fucking energy drink.
But this was the first thing I had today. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, they don't even have no fucking water in my room. When I was in Australia, man, they have water. You can go in the mini bar and get 2 waters and just, you know
That's
what I'm saying?
great, yeah.
I ain't got shit in this motherfucker, man. But anyway, they just want nigga to die. But anyway, what's next for Strange, man? We're doing bigger tours, man. We're doing better music. No sign of slowing down, man. You know what I'm saying?
Was there ever any truth? I had heard, and you tell me if this is true or not, that you guys had talked about maybe signing Bone Thugs and Harmony at a certain point in time. Was that ever sniffed around about? Like, was that ever anything that like almost happened?
I don't remember this. I know we were on tour with them in 2003, and we've done, shows together lately, but I don't think they ever needed it.
I mean, that's fair.
I don't think they ever needed it.
What was there ever anybody who you guys were talking to who, I mean, obviously I feel like Jelly Roll's a big example of somebody who kind of came on board with the distro side early on when you guys started the distro thing, and it turned into what we see now.
Yeah, same thing for Dax. Same thing for MGK.
Yeah. Shout out to Kendrick. For sure.
Fucking Grammys and shit.
Was there ever any artist who almost did a Strange deal who just for whatever reason just
Hobson. Hobson.
Pre-Funk Volume?
Yes.
Wow.
Hobson and Dame came into the office.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Travis was trying to get me to listen to Snow the Product for 2 years before I did. Please, man, listen to this. I never did. And look,
Grammy nominated, Latin Grammy nominated. She's on Asinine, obviously.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite songs on that album.
She's on Cosm. You know what I'm saying? The latest.
Is she on? I'm trying to think.
She's on a lot of shit.
She's on a lot of shit with you.
Yeah. She on one with me and Russ called No Sims.
No, that's my favorite record on that album.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think we could have had Snow. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why. I don't know what I was doing in my life that I never listened, and that's why we've been connected since way back in the day. Man.
Right.
Me and Snow, man. I think she's an elite lyricist, but she's a songwriter, man.
And she's diverse.
Yes, she is, man.
Like she could do anything.
Bilingual, all that shit, man.
She's crazy, and she's so she could hold her fucking own.
Like a motherfucker, man.
Like
that's why I always put her at the end of the...
out rapping everybody.
That's why I always put her at the end of the song.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
On our last song, I got Kevin Gates on it. It's called Zod. It's me, Joey Cool, Kevin Gates, and Snow at the end. She said, Not Tech put me on the last verse again. You know what I'm saying? She started her verse off like that. You know what I'm saying? But she's worthy of that shit.
Did you guys ever? You know who when Funk Volume broke up? Somebody who's a close friend of mine who I think toured with you guys too. Jaron Benton's like my brother. I love that fucking guy.
Yes. He toured
I
with
felt
us.
like it would have been perfect, like a perfect marriage. Because Jaron Benton is also like very like, he's a crazy bastard.
Well, he is. But when Hop and Dame broke, I didn't want everybody to come to Strange.
Right,
because
it would have been more. That would have been.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shit like that.
That makes
and
sense.
A lot of people, when the split happened with Brainstick and ISO, they was like, but you said you wouldn't sign
Right.
them niggas from Funk Volume, but you signed ISO. I was like, ISO was a different thing to me because they fell out because of me.
Right.
Because I did Bad Juju with ISO. And then the bad blood started after that. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like I owed ISO what he wanted from Strange. You know what I'm saying? So he wanted to tour with us. I got him that.
Yeah.
And I was always talking to Twisted Insane in between that. Like, you know what I'm saying? We were texting. He's like, oh, that was a kick in the gut. I'm like, nah, man, don't look at it like that, man. I'm just trying to help young brother. You know what I'm saying? This, that, and the other. And but the Funk Volume thing, I just didn't want that, you know, with Hop to be like, damn, man, you're just gonna take all my artists, you know what I'm saying? You know, I didn't
That
wanna
makes
do
sense. That makes sense. Worldwide Choppers, would you do another one?
I did another one. It's called Speed 'Em with Eminem. Now,
No, I mean another one. I know that Speed 'Em is like
keep in mind,
Yeah.
I had people slated for Speed 'Em. You know what I'm
Like
saying?
who?
I had Daddy Yankee.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? I was in contact, you know what I'm saying? I wanted Nicki Minaj. I wanted Kollega from Germany. I wanted
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm sad that we never got Ritz on a Worldwide Choppers.
don't worry, but listen. I wanted Gabby Gab, female artist from Atlanta. She had already sent her verse in for Speed 'Em. I had all these people. I had more people slated. You know what I'm saying? I just can't remember.
Once Eminem calls, though, it's like, hey guys, this is something we got. This is a little
No,
something.
this is Travis saying, man, you cannot put all those people that people don't, you know,
Right.
on the song with Eminem and you. You know, he just wanted to be me and Eminem, but Chris Kaliko said, I got to get some of that, bro.
Yep.
I had to give it to Chris Kaliko. I never listened to his verse.
Right.
I didn't want to be influenced. And after I did my verse, I did my intro, you know what I'm saying? Because I knew once I sent it to M, it's so dope he was going to do it. So I'm
Right.
talking about him in the first little 8 bars.
Right.
Guess not, because he be the guest spot. You know what I'm saying? I knew. You know what I'm saying? So I did my verse and I did my last verse with all the L's. I'm the Fury, the final fighter, flicker on flyer, you know what I'm saying? All that shit. And send it to him. And Travis like, man, we got to cut all those other people out, man. So when we dropped it, it was Speed 'Em, Worldwide Choppers 2.
Right.
So the fans are like, this is not Worldwide Choppers. You know what I'm saying?
It's
I'm
not
like,
in the spirit of the first one.
they was upset, but
Right.
they had to give it up though. Because
Right.
I had to like have a rebuttal like we're the dopest rappers worldwide.
Yeah. So
what
yeah,
up? You know, it is what it is.
in the world, we're the dopest.
Yeah. You know, it was bullshit.
Yeah,
though. But so like in the last 3 years, like 3 years ago, David Banner was sending me beats. And he sent me this Annie Lennox beat, man. This I said, I was like, oh my God, I found another new Worldwide Choppers. But it was something, it was other shit that was in the beat that we couldn't get clarity on the clearances.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I never got to do it. And I'm like, now I could bring Nicki Minaj back. I can finally get Daddy Yankee, and I can finally get JID, and I can finally get, you know what I'm saying, whoever want to go, you know what I'm saying? Whoever want to go, you know what I'm saying? I can get Foster from Nigeria, you know what I'm saying? All these choppers all over the world, man. You know what I'm saying? Fucking Hurricane finally from Kansas City, you know what I'm saying? Just Seuss Mace, you know, from Topeka, just all these people, you know what I'm saying? King ISO haven't been on one yet, you know what I'm saying? And who would you say?
Ritz.
Ritz haven't been on one, you know what I'm saying? Just do one, you know? So, as it stands now, if a beat is worthy,
It's on the table.
because I said, me and my nigga Twista rule it, and this it at the end of Speed 'Em. Because everybody who's done it thus far, from Eminem to everybody, from K Dean to Crazy Bone to D-Loc and Dilemma, all the people, Chris Kaliko, all of them are in my circle of choppers. So I said, if you ain't in my circle of choppers, you missed it, because me and my nigga Twista rule it, and this is it. You know what I'm saying? And I said that, but now I'm thinking, if I find the right beat, nigga, we gonna go again. We're gonna go again. Worldwide Choppers 3. Fuck that.
That'd be crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm getting more crispy. And, you know, I'm tired of racing motherfuckers, but I'm down to race still. I'm just tired of racing motherfuckers. Everybody that send me a track want me to race. I'm so tired of racing. But
it's almost like when they
race.
think like, oh, this is, we need to put Tech N9ne on this one.
You
Like,
heard me on the fucking NF track, Trust?
Yeah, shout out to NF,
everybody know that bring up. I'm just going, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to race. You know what I'm saying? The one with me and Chris Webby did.
I feel like Mexican OT could chop too, pretty crazy.
Mexican OT was another one. Mexican OT was another one.
If you and Mexican OT did some shit.
OT.
Woo.
Mexican OT.
OT's a big fan.
OT, yeah, I met him.
Yeah, he fucks with
Mexican
you, man.
OT is indeed a chopper and is one that I would call for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So if the beat steps up, the beat has to be massive because all the worldwide choppers, from Midwest Choppers 1 to Midwest Choppers 2 to Worldwide Choppers to Worldwide Choppers 2 Speed 'em, these beats are massive.
Yeah, they're
I just can't have a bullshit ass beat
yeah.
to send motherfuckers, man. I know Nicki Minaj can do that shit. You know what I'm saying? I know that let me see. I know that Denzel Curry can do it.
Logic can do it.
Yeah, Logic
You
can
guys
do it.
did Sriracha.
He had a chance to do it on Sriracha.
Yeah,
But he didn't do it after Joyner though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But then they got it together afterwards and did one together, and he fucking showed his ass.
No, that shit was hard too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm glad they figured that out.
he can do it for sure. But,
Do you and Krizz talk still a lot, or?
Fuck yeah, that's my brother.
Yeah.
Beyond music.
I love Krizz, man.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, all the time. You know what I'm saying? I got him in my phone under Son of Sam.
Yeah.
Because his name is Samuel Christopher William Washington, or Samuel William Christopher Watson, you know what I'm saying? And I call him Son of Sam because his dad's name was Sam, you know what I'm saying?
Krizz the best, man.
I always, Son of Sam is in my favorites, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was like when you guys had that moment at Red Rocks, it felt good. Just because I know both of y'all.
And then he just came out and surprised everybody and did Anxiety with the KC Orchestra with me.
Dope.
The KC Symphony.
Yeah.
He came out at the end and it fucking blew the fucking place up.
That's amazing.
And I like doing shit like that because people think that when people leave, it's bad blood.
Right.
But Cosm lets you know that it's no bad blood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not at all. It's just people going on their own to leave something for their children.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because me and Trav already got strange music
Yep.
for our children and our families. You know what I'm saying? So motherfuckers want to go on their own to start something on their own, like Mayday. You know what I'm saying? And
Shout out to Mayday, yeah.
yeah, man. You know what I mean? And they're still on it. Goes up.
Ritz is doing his thing, you know?
All day.
Yeah, 100%.
So no bad blood at all. Scatterman and Snug Brim, all that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Travis and Cuddle ever rekindle.
Hopefully one day.
Yeah.
Time will tell, right?
I never say never.
It'd be nice to see y'all on stage one more time.
I think Cuddy's like a minister now, man. I don't know if he'll do that anymore.
He might not. That's fair.
He said he was battling demons and shit when he was with me, you know, and
I mean, he was also with you in probably the wildest times.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So if he looks at strange music as he's gonna have to battle demons some more, I don't suspect that he'll even think about doing this.
Yeah.
You know, I heard he was driving the church van and all that kind of shit. So who's to say that he would even want to do anything like that? You know,
That's a fair point, man.
And make no mistake, there's no demons over here. It's only angel baby, worldly angel,
Yeah.
or angel baby. Make no mistake, the demons and the angels are within ourselves. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And we have to figure out which ones are we going to give power.
Can you tell me what's been different about being a dad at this point in time of your life than being a dad at an earlier stage in your life?
When I had 2 children at 22, Aaliyah was the first, Dantes was right after. I hit the road like crazy. That's why I made The Rain in 06.
Yep.
It was hurting me that I was missing birthdays and missing graduations and all this kind of thing. Now that we had Alina, I'm doing less shows, bigger shows and less dates.
Yeah.
I'm home more, and it made me realize how much time I didn't have with my children that are 30 now and 26 and
Right.
31 and all that kind of shit. I have more time now at home.
Yeah.
And it sucks that my kids had to endure my absence. So,
But I'm sure like they also probably appreciate I mean, you say you had sacrifice tattooed on you, but I mean,
I do.
And
we have a brand new relationship.
Yeah.
You know, for a while, me and my first Aaliyah, she was like not on my team.
Right.
She was like not pro daddy. You know what I'm saying? And for a good reason.
Right.
And lately, in the last year, she's like, Dad, it's like you're all this new person now. I don't have any more insults for you. And I'm like, I'm sure you'll find something soon.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Really good, man. Really good. We're starting a new chapter with Aaliyah, Rainbow, and Dantes. And now Alina's here. And my wife has Isabella. You know what I'm saying? She's going on 17. And we're all a family, man. And it's time to start creating new memories.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
Well, look, Tech, the new album is on the way.
5816 Forest this summer.
New tour is coming.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hollywood N9ne tour. I might be going back with Ronnie Radke soon. You know what I'm saying?
And then what you got something going on with the World Cup?
Oh, yeah. I did the World Cup Sonic ID for KC, man. You know what I'm saying? That was a flex. You know what I'm saying? They chose me. They called, FIFA called me at Strange, talked to Travis and said, we love Red Kingdom and we love what y'all do. We want tech. They didn't want words. They thought I was a producer.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, I write songs.
Yeah,
That's why
writer.
I'm the only ID that has lyrics.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because we pushed it. Like, listen to this. You know what I mean? And I fucking did Tech N9ne on it. You know what I mean? And they loved it. And I did 5 different versions. And that 5th one, they said yes.
That's dope.
Yeah, I had too much in the hook, I guess.
I feel like you and Trav eventually are going to own a piece of the Royals or the Chiefs or something.
Everybody say, you need to run for mayor. I'm like, I don't know if I want that job.
Nah, you just got to either bring an NBA team to Kansas City or you know, buy a chunk of the Royals or something.
Yeah, man. Or build my amusement park, Strangeland, man.
Or that.
Yeah.
You guys got so much
I'm building roller coasters in my notebook, man. I've been doing it for the last 4 years. I'm like, but it's so intricate, man. And if I show you the drawing, man, you'll laugh like a motherfucker. This is shit I've never seen. And my daughter, Aaliyah, was going through my pages. She's like, the fact that you're even trying something like this on paper is crazy, Dad. I'm like, I know. To go to sleep, I was doing my mantra, this roller coaster I see, I'm going through the motions of what it does and how it goes up and goes down this hole and this cone at the bottom that you go down and around and it's crazy. I'm asleep by the time it goes back around. It goes frontwards, then it goes backwards.
You know what I feel like you guys could do? I feel like if you curated a yearly haunted experience.
Of course.
Like you go to haunted houses?
Yeah, of course. We went
that could be a
Halloween.
That could be a strange music
Halloween
thing.
before last, me and my wife and some friends, we went down to Universal Cities in Orlando.
Right, you go to the Halloween Horror Nights, right?
And the weekend had a fucking haunted house.
Dude, he's had a haunted house 3 years straight.
That's fucking crazy.
Insane.
And you can see all these ones where, you know, he had the
for
gauze
sure.
on, the blood and shit.
Yep.
And all of them are jumping out at you and shit. It's fucking crazy. I'm like, I do mine. People are going to be fucking petrified, homie.
No, but I'm saying, like, you could do it in KC.
Of course.
Yeah, I think that would be crazy.
I just need to take time, dude.
It's about the time.
I'm still doing music.
Yeah, it's about the time.
Yeah, it's about time. It's about the time. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair, man.
So,
well, listen, brother, I appreciate you hanging out. We finally got a pod done. I mean,
How long was it?
2 hours or so.
Okay.
We've done so many interviews over the years.
Yeah. This one was
the first time I ever had you on my show was in 2009 in Boise, Idaho. You and Murs came and freestyled.
Yeah.
And you did, I forget which verse you did. You did,
I don't know.
It was one of the verses off Tech N9ne collabs.
Probably.
Where you were, I forget.
Yeah, me too.
But, yeah, man, it's been dope to just.
It's been a long time. It's been good to see your ascension too, brother.
I appreciate it, man.
Man, you're a fixture in this shit. You know
Trying, brother. Yeah, for sure.
Damn, look what.
And I try to do my part to always mention you, bro, when we talk about
every time you do, my fans send it to me.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. There's always some connection with all the new guys too.
That's what I always say. I'm like, yo, like I feel like when it comes to like a certain like pocket of the underground world that I kind of came up pushing, it's like my responsibility to be like, yo, Yellow, hang out for the Mexican OT interview we're about to do. You were there that night. Right. Oh my God. Oh, you were there. I was fucked. Yeah. It's like how can I try to bring like either artists who I feel like would be dope to that world, or just shine light to like to some of these guys who are I consider to be goats. You like yourself,
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Do you feel like you get the recognition in the greatest of all time convo? I'm sure you don't give a fuck, but
I don't get that recognition because I don't need the accolades from anybody. I just do music, and if people like it, I love it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't need validation from people or the culture or anything. You know what I'm saying? But I would like it.
No, I know you would like it. I know
like
that's.
it.
I mean, you've
I like
it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I mean, Fragile, one of your biggest records, is literally about people critiquing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's why I took the time to do that on a song like that, and it blew up on the radio. I had no idea. But I don't need it, but I'd like it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I put a lot into what I write. You know what I mean? I always have. And over the years, you hear all the new generation talking about N9ne. That's the validation right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You hear, La Russell talking about N9ne. You hear Russ talking about N9ne. You hear all these people, Playboy Cardi. You know what I'm saying? You hear all these people. I just met Offset at the Super Bowl, and as soon as I said N9ne, he looked, he smiled, and he said, "Legend, man, legend." You know what I'm saying? It's like that's validation right there.
Yeah, it's almost like all that other shit you would like, but that is as rewarding to hear
from the peers,
from your peers, and from like a whole new generation that aren't necessarily your peers. You know what I'm saying?
Eminem to do a song for you like Speed 'em, man, that's validation.
Eminem doesn't do a song for anybody.
Nah, man,
for sure. Like you damn near got to be signed to him to get a verse.
It's validation. All that shit's validation. You know what I'm saying? 2 Chainz, B.O.B., all that shit is validation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kendrick Lamar is validation. You know what I'm saying? We shooting the video in Kansas City. For Fragile, we sitting it's super cold outside, so Travis got his RV down there, and we're in the RV trying to warm up. And Top is with him, and he's like, Tech, Fragile's dope, man. You know what I'm saying? That's Kendrick talking to me, and I'm like, thank you, brother.
It's been cool to see just Top Dog evolve as this like powerhouse.
Holy shit.
Right? It's like it's insane. And and I'm sure if you ask Top, he took, I'm sure, a lot of inspiration and
he learned a lot.
He learned a lot from his experience with y'all and putting out that J-Rock album.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. And what's happening to them, man? Him and Punch and all them is astronomical, man.
Yeah.
And Kendrick is beyond the stars.
And then it's like remove Kendrick.
All the stars are closer.
SZA.
All the stars are closer.
Doechii is. I don't know if you heard her album, but Doechii
is a monster, man.
She is.
Jesus. I'm like, that
was my favorite album. That was my favorite album last year.
And Dog, how do they find these motherfuckers? You know what I'm saying?
Doechii's an alien. Creatively, she's so crazy.
Yeah, man. Fucking lyrically inclined.
Conceptually.
Musically inclined.
Yeah.
Man.
It's so crazy.
MC, songstress, everything, man.
Yeah. It's like, damn, like y'all really got whoever, like, shout out to Top Son, Musa's, who I believe signed Doechii.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Musa signed Doechii.
I had no idea.
So it's like, man, good. That's a grab right there. Out of Tampa, too.
She's out of here, man.
She is out.
She's out of here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, listen, brother, I appreciate you. Man, I'm a fan, bro, first, and obviously you're my friend. And
thank you.
And, I feel like a lot of people, if you're getting into the music industry, like, you're watching this and you may be like, man, this is the first I heard of Tech. Like, hey, man, like, if you're going to take this rap shit serious, you got to, like, study what you do.
Exactly.
For real.
Yeah. It's a blessed position to be in.
Yeah. It's like, when I think of all this independent shit that's, like, hot all of a sudden, I'm like, man.
They all, but just don't think like that, because they all talk to me and say, if it wasn't for you, from Wiz Khalifa to Russ to all of them.
For sure.
Man, you showed us early on, man. They all say it. They all give it up.
Yeah, for sure, man. You change. I'm sure you know, but you changed the rap game for real.
Yeah,
whether or not it's sonically but the business of rap music has changed because of strange music.
Me and Travis O'Gwen, man, got a track record that's untouchable.
Shout out to Travis too, who's got way too many cars. He should let me have one. And
he sells those cars, man. He's in the car business.
I want to give a shout out to Travis too for being the buffest old man that
He don't
I
just
know.
buy all the cars from
That
himself.
motherfucker is lifting a lot of weights.
Oh yes,
He is jacked.
he ain't Big Trav no more.
Yeah, you know what's so funny is like I don't think people would understand because early tech shows, Travis would be on stage as security.
He still is.
But at certain shows, you'll still see him standing up there with mugs.
He still is.
Will you ever bring the face paint back? Because that's a commitment. You got to have the face paint guy on. I forget
Over the years.
I forget the old guy who used to paint your face.
Yeah, it was Scenario.
Yeah, Scenario. That's right.
Scenario. Before Scenario, there was Craig David. He died. Before the very first was Brian Dennis. He died. You know what I'm saying? My last was second to the last was Jose Ramirez. He quit. He wanted to be at home with his little girl Millie. You know what I'm saying, to raise her, which is noble. And then my fifth one was UBI from Sess Crew. He's too massive of an artist
to be
following me around,
painting your face.
And over the years, Brian Dennis started the skull face. Then I just started doing my forehead. But over the years, it turned into my whole face and my whole head. That shit takes 3 hours every night.
I feel like when you did the mask, it was a perfect compromise.
That's what I'm saying.
You could just throw that bitch on, take it off.
I called Corey Taylor. I said, listen, man, I can't afford to keep taking, not money-wise, but like, because the time. Yeah. I can't afford the time. And you being an artist that's on the incline, I cannot, hey, man, we got to go to fucking UK if you could paint my face, and he got to have his shit held up.
Like,
no,
who's making the Slipknot mask? Give me their number.
No, I called Corey Taylor, and I said, listen, man, I need a mask that can endure a 2-hour fucking show. And y'all the only ones I know that got him.
Yeah, for sure.
He said, Jake Ronhaus in California. He gave me the number. I've been fucking with Jake on I think we've had 3 or 4 different versions of the clown thus far. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
And I think for a show maybe
for the 30.
For a video
what
or
about for the
something?
30-year anniversary?
Maybe for a video or something, I'll call Yubi and see if he's in town, and we'll
30-year anniversary.
Take 3 hours to do my fucking whole head.
I feel like y'all got to do like a crazy show for the 30 years. The 30 years is strange.
That shit used to burn my eyes like crazy.
Oh, I bet.
You know what I'm saying? So the silicone mask, man, really helps me. You know
I bet. No, for sure. I can only imagine. I'd be like, damn, like that shit is a commitment every night.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Every night, 3 hours. That last gathering we did, he had to paint my face 3 hours before I went on outside. Back.
And you're walking around sweating before the show anyway.
Yeah, man.
For sure.
Man. It's hard to do. Hard to do with the face paint. It's a hard commitment because the way I see the clown morphing, it keeps getting worse and worse every year, you know what I'm saying, in my mind, you know what I'm saying,
right.
With the corrosion and everything. So I don't know, man. Maybe I'll sit down for 3 hours. I won't say never, though.
Right. I like it, man. Well, listen, Tech, I appreciate you pulling up, brother. Album this summer.
Yes.
Tour coming. When's the tour start?
Day after tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. So you're locked in.
Just
How many
flew
dates?
From Australia. Oh, shit, like 20-something.
That's not bad. That's something light for you.
Yeah, 30-something, 20-something, 25. I don't fucking
Anything under 40 is light work for you.
You ain't bullshit.
For sure.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
So, hey, man, Tech, go see him on the road. The new record is out right now, too, so you can go support them.
No, the new single is out right now.
Yeah, the new record, yeah. Well, that's what I mean by record.
The new record don't come out till...
well, when I think of record, I think of a song.
Yeah, you can say that. You
Yes.
can say it.
Yes.
The
technicalities.
The new record RDV is out.
The new song.
Yeah, the new song.
It's out. Go watch the video. And Tech, I appreciate you pulling up, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you for having me.
Tech
man.
N9ne.
Yes.
Boom.